comment, which gives the opportunity for the stakeholders to address some of their issues that are non-agenda related. Non-agenda related. Public comment, item number 4. I have one speaker card before me. While I take some notes, again, please help yourself to the hospitalities offered to you by LA 32 Neighborhood Council. This evening, the food is provided by Southwest Catering, and it is available there in the kitchenette area. As it indicates on the agenda, public comment will be afforded 3 minutes. The first public comment speaker we have is Omar Rawa. I'm not sure if your microphone is on, so you can just turn the microphone on.
Hello? I'm a little short. Thank you. Hi, so this is a little strange. Who to address? Sorry. So my name is Amar, and basically I wanted to present myself to the neighborhood. I live in El Sereno. Me and my wife moved here 2.5 years ago. And we really love living here. It's a wonderful place to live. And I've been in LA since 2002, mostly in Echo Park, Silver Lake, etc. I'm running for Assembly District Delegate for the Democratic Party to represent our district, District 51. And I imagine many of you know about the ADM election process. And so I'm not going to fill you in on those details, but the election is this Sunday at the Barrio Action Youth and Family Center. And I'd like you to consider me and other candidates who now decided to get active and participate. So I'm an educator. I've been teaching at Glendale Community College for since 2005. And as we know, the last year has been trying, I think, for a lot of people in California. For a lot of people who are Democrats, or I would say even Republicans, that there hasn't, there's been a disconnect between what the country is seeming to represent and what we actually believe and feel. And so as a response to that, I decided I should run and get involved. Mostly because of my students. I've been watching my students really struggle with what it means to be an American, what it means to believe what they believe, and if it's even possible to affect change, to believe in political process, to believe in elections. And so hearing that and trying to convince them that it was worthwhile to get engaged, that it was worthwhile to vote, I felt that one of the only ways that I could possibly give them the courage was to do the same myself, to actually get involved as much as possible. And since now that me and my wife we have achieved some stability in our existence, that we are now living in El Sereno and we won't go anywhere, it seemed like this was my time to get involved, both as a delegate and hopefully in neighborhood councils, and in any other capacity that I can. So
After 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for expressing us your comments to us.
My last name is Rava, R-A-V-D-A, and in the list, there's only one person with my last name, so.
What's the hours of voting for?
The voting is, registration begins at 10, and the election itself starts at 12. And the registration, you can also register as a Democrat if you aren't registered or switched or whatever. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you, Omar. We now have another public comment card from Fernando Ramirez, item number 4. Fernando Ramirez.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Fernando Ramirez. I'm a community activist from East LA. I don't live in El Sereno, but I do represent the East Side LA Greens. We're a community environmental social justice organization here in the East Side, in the greater East Side. We have members that live in El Sereno, Boyle Heights, East LA, City Terrence, all the way to Alhambra. And we're here to also just speak on behalf of Kenneth Mejia. He's running for Congressional District 34. He's running as a Democratic party candidate. I have, his information here. We just wanted to let the community in El Sereno know that there is going to be another, option out there. Kenneth Mejia, he's a well-known progressive community activist in the community of Congressional District 34. He has helped a lot of people from the East Side the fight against gentrification, especially since there isn't a really strong support right now against the movement, at least from the forces in government right now, local government. Gentrification is a very important issue for our communities in the East Side. Kenneth, he's for universal rent control. He's for the community to have more control over the vacant lots, over the public land that's in our communities, so the community could decide what should be built there. And if it's housing, it has to be for the community. It can be to attract rich people. I do want working class people moving into our communities, but the developers, they're really not basically building housing or any development that's going to be benefiting the community. So that's why I think it's very important that we put a progressive voice, especially with the incoming administration that's coming in right now, that's going to attack this community, particularly in the communities in the East Side. We need not only to build a social justice movement here in the East Side, but also to support candidates that actually come from the social justice movement. So I'm going to be leaving some information for folks, for you guys to consider, a third party, Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Fernando. The next speaker card we have is for Carl Peterson.
Hi, my name is Carl Peterson, and I'm running for our LAUSD School Board in District 2. Right now, there's seven members on the board. None of them have kids in the district, currently enrolled in the district. And I think that's the parent's voice is sorely missing from the school district. And that's why I'm running. What solidified my decision to run against Monica Garcia was in March. She spoke before the school board, and she said, "I'm not about defunding special ed. I just know that we have a serious issue to how we can serve our own kids, excluding all the special ed kids, which is 12% of our district's population. I think that the representatives should represent all kids. And this is just an example of how that's not being done now. Another thing is, the big push is to get everybody ready for college. Everybody's going to college. I go and visit the elementary schools, and they got big signs that say, our students are going to college. Well, not all kids are going to college. Some, like my kids, aren't equipped to go to college. Some just have other interests. I think that our education system needs to pay attention to all kids and tell all kids that they have value. So that's another big reason that I'm running. I want to improve the vocational training we give to students who aren't going to college. I also want to increase art and music. We say that our iPads and our iPads are made in China, but they say they're designed in California. If we don't spark creativity and keep math and art, and keep art and music, then we're going to lose that edge also. So my website is ChangeTheLAUSD. If you have any questions, you can reach me at ChangeTheLAUSD@gmail.com. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Carl. We have, the next speaker we have is Jacqueline Montemosas. Jacqueline Montemosas.
My name is Jacqueline Monterrosas, and I am here to talk on behalf of East LA Community Corporation, who is the owner of 4208 East Huntington Drive South. It used to be a carniceria meat market, and now it's been a vacant lot since we purchased it. We actually just went through a lengthy eviction of the tenant that we had, but now it's vacant. We intend to build affordable housing. This is a project that had been previously brought to a couple board members from the neighborhood council, but it has not been taken to the land use committee. And we intend to do that in the next few weeks. And I just wanted to come and introduce myself and hopefully have the opportunity to meet some of you.
One moment, I think my alarm went off a little early. I'm going to give you one additional minute because I didn't reset it.
I think okay.
No questions. I just wanted you to complete because my alarm went off. I think you were paying attention to the sound.
Oh, no, it was fine.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, if anyone has questions.
What we'll do is we don't ask public comments or to the public, but we will take points of clarification.
Okay.
Miguel.
Just as a general comment, the land use committee meets on the third Tuesday of every month. And if you need any more information, I can make sure you get that.
Thank you so much.
Anything else from the board? Yes.
The
Once again, can you
address-
provide the address? That's a point of clarification.
Yes.
I mean, you stated it, but we just need it announced once more time.
Sure. The address is 4208 East Huntington Drive South. It's right at the intersection of Soto and Huntington Drive.
Thank you very much. The last public comment card I have for item 4 is Sarah Hernandez.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Hernandez. I'm a candidate for the 34th Congressional District, and I just wanted to come here tonight to introduce myself to you all, to tell you a little bit about why I'm running, and then I would just love to, on an individual basis, I would love to give you my contact information. I would love to talk to all of you in more detail about what you care about in your communities and what's really important to you when electing a member of Congress. And most importantly, I just really wanted to say thank you. I think that the work of a neighborhood council is really the most important work that we can be doing on a local level. I think this because I came from a background where I had parents that were really involved in the community. They were very, very involved in the farm worker movement in the Salinas Valley. I grew up around in community engagement, and to them what they always taught me is that no matter who you are, whether you're a teacher or you're a police officer or a small business owner or a community activist or a public servant, it's all of our responsibility to give back to our community and make it better. I know that being on a neighborhood council can be thankless work sometimes, so I just really want to thank all of you. I know that beyond all of this, you all are doing a lot to better your community. I had the privilege of being able to sit down with Mr. Manzano yesterday and talk to him about some of his work, working with Neighborhood Watch. I think that is a crucial component to making our communities better. I had the opportunity to meet with Jackie Carrillo a year ago almost. But the work that she does with the USC NEI program and providing educational opportunities for kids in this area in LA 32 so that they can go on to USC changes lives. It changes the lives trajectories, not just of those students, but of their families. I know that. I'm a former public school teacher, LAUSD middle school teacher. And then obviously I know Miguel Vargas from my time working with Councilmember Huizar, and the work that he does improving communities all throughout the 34th district is really, really important. And so for me, that is the most important reason about why I'm running for Congress. Obviously, our communities are under attack. With this past election cycle, we have an incoming administration, and we have a lot of efforts that are being underway to attack our immigrant communities, attack women, attack Muslims, attack people that don't look like the people who are in power. And I think that we need people that are going to fight in Washington against those efforts. But most importantly, I think we need to have people that really understand the issues of the community. So whether that or not that's about homelessness, I spent many years working on homelessness in Skid Row, but I know it's not just Skid Row. It's throughout this city. You know, we see encampments popping up all over LA 32. That is a huge issue, and where our HUD dollars go to address housing and homelessness issues is incredibly important, and we need someone who knows and understands how that affects this particular community. And making sure that our veterans who are giving their lives and who are coming back to this country and not being respected, we need to make sure that we are providing the services that they need. I know that this is a community that serves that is home to many, many veterans that come back to this country and do not have the services that they need. Education, as a former public school teacher for LAUSD, this is something that is near and dear to my heart. Educational opportunity changes lives, just like the NEI program, but it also continues the cycle of poverty when we don't have the educational opportunity that we need in our communities. So, you know, what LAUSD needs to do is very, very important. What the state of California needs to do is very, very important. But on a federal level, we also need to ensure that we have federal dollars coming to California so that we can make sure that every student throughout LA 32 has an opportunity to get an excellent education at their neighborhood public school. And that is something that is really, really important to me. And then as the individual just talked a little bit before about immigration, we have so many DACA students. I spent a lot of years working with my students to get them to college and then to apply to DACA. We have so many people in this community that are living in fear because of this incoming administration, and we need to fight back. So those are the things that are really, really important to me. And I really believe that it is time for the next generation to take up the mantle of leadership. We really need new blood in Washington. It's going to take some time. This fight is going to take some time. It's going to take some time to turn the ship around. But we need people that care about this community, that have that time to really invest and build our communities up. So I want to just give you an opportunity to give you my email, and then I know that my time is up.
Yes, then the 3 minutes are over.
Yeah. So my email is Sarah, SARAJ .Hernandez, HERNANDEZ @gmail.com. That's my personal email. I would love for all of you to reach out. I would love to talk to you. I would love to have a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hernandez. Those are all the public comment cards that I have before me. Are there any stakeholders out there still wishing to speak to the board on item number 4, which is public comment? No more public comment speakers. Item 4 is closed. Basically, what the candidates were just mentioning, I'd like all of them to just keep in mind that on item number 11 on this evening's agenda, we'll be selecting the election and voter engagement committee. And perhaps you could be involved and participate with that committee in the future. My name is Anthony Manzano. We're now moving to item number 5, which is the president's report. And I want to say thank you for involvement, much like Sarah just mentioned about giving back. I've been giving back for many years, and there's 3 ways of giving back. You either volunteer, which all of us are doing this evening here on the board. You're spending your time and you're volunteering. A second way of giving back is giving input, being influential, calling 311, being part of Neighborhood Watch, emailing the council member, emailing the mayor, and getting things done to be of service for your communities. And the third way is donate. You could either make a contribution to your local senior citizen center, to your local park, to your local schools, or give back by donation. So those are the 3 ways that I have found over the 12 years that I've been involved of being able to give back. You volunteer, You give input, or you be influential in your community, or you donate. That's going to be item number 1. Oh, actually, item 5.1. Also, it says participation. What I've done is I've been the previous president back in 2010, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow this public to address their public comments to us for 3-minute intervals. When I first started on the board, it was one time 2 minutes, and some of the previous presidents thought that it was pretty lengthy, and they reduced it to 1 minute. But 1 minute is the bare minimum, and as me serving as your president, we do not serve our stakeholders at the minimum. So I will once again re-increase the stakeholder public comment period to 3 minutes, and that'll be effective as of last month. And it's just on the agenda this evening so that you guys would know, as board members and stakeholders, that we really are here to listen to you and that we'll give you ample time to speak to the board. The second one on here is 5.2, which is the directors to please stand while you address the board. I only ask that you stand to address the board is to acknowledge that you have the floor, and it makes it easier for myself as chair to prevent anyone else from interrupting you, speaking above you, or taking the floor from you. So as you address the board, whether it's through a motion or through your announcements or anytime you wish to speak to us, just raise your hand, I will acknowledge you, and then I just ask. It's not mandatory, but it just asks that you please stand. And like I said, it makes that easier for me so that there's no crosstalk, there's no anyone trying to override your position of holding the floor, or no one interrupting the meeting. The next item on there is item 5.3, which is a stakeholder consensus. This stakeholder consensus is something that I am initiating as the president, and I've been the president before. This is a very brand new idea that the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment really likes. I feel and I believe that no one else in the city is doing this at this time. What the stakeholder consensus is going to do is it's going to allow the stakeholders that are sitting out there before us to be involved at all points of the meeting. Every time the board takes an action or votes on a resolution, I will be asking those in the audience, the public, to raise their hand and participate to either affirm the position the board will be taking or to object to it. They don't have to vote, abstentions will not count, and the stakeholders' participation is only for record keeping. It is not part of the official vote, but this insightful process is probably going to be acknowledged throughout the entire city of Los Angeles to really assure that the people that we're serving, the stakeholders, the public, are actually being involved at every step of the meeting. I thought about this. We're going to be implementing it tonight. I want to address my board members and let them know that this is something that I'm calling the stakeholder consensus. Part of the process is that we will have a motion. It'll be seconded. At that point, we'll have the public comment. We'll take stakeholders' input. Then we'll have the board members' discussion and debate. After the board member has discussed the item, we'll go back to the public and ask for those in favor of the motion that's presented on the agenda. And then we'll ask for those objecting of the motion on the agenda. And then after that, the board will take the final tabulation. So it's a fairly simple process. We don't need to approve anything like this. It's just the way I like to conduct my meetings to make sure that we're making sure that the public and participants are involved. What I believe that's going to do is increase the amount of participation by the end of this year by double. Easily by double. Because everyone out there is going to want to come back to our meetings. They're going to want to stay engaged. They're going to want to keep voting. And guess what? They're going to bring their friends and family and neighbors. The next item on the is 5.4. It says City Attorney Neighborhood Council Advice Division. There is some copies on the back table. It's titled, where do I have mine at? It's titled, here, the Brown Act Limitations and Discussion by Neighborhood Council Board Members. That's a 3-page document provided by the City Attorney's Office. There's also a copy up there on the wall indicating it's a 3-page document. And basically what that does is it's advice from the City Attorney sent to all board members indicating, and I'll just read it right on here. It says, why does the Brown Act prevent communications outside of public meetings? And the very first sentence is, the purpose of the Brown Act is to avoid secrecy in government. You guys all have that attached to your agenda this evening. Be sure to read it. It's not really homework. It's just offering you the opportunity to be aware and knowledgeable of the rules that govern us. Many of you board members are new, and you may not know it, but as new board members, there's times when you're just unaware and are unsure if you're actually breaking the rule or breaking the law. The only way you know is by being informed of the rule or the law. So that is my closing president statements. I want to welcome everybody again for this new year. And we'll now move to item number 6, which is an opportunity for the board members to address on non-agenda items as well as provide comments or announcements. Item 6 is open. Do we have any announcements or comments? No. No. It's just item number 6, board member comments or announcements on non-agenda. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Vargas.
I'm going to just go ahead and speak from the city position. And I just want to wish everyone a happy New Year's, happy 2017. That's all.
Thank you. Any other director announcements? Yes, Marcia?
I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out. Just really say we're looking forward to working with everybody. We want to continue to get everyone's ideas and thoughts so that we can make this board successful. We just had a new transitionship in leadership, so I hope that everyone continues to collaborate and work with us so that we can move forward. And thank you so much for spending your time here. I know 6 to 9 is a difficult time when you want to be with your family, so I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other directors that wish to make an announcement? Yes, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams?
Dr. Williams.
Tom, thank you. Dr. Tom Williams. Hi. On next Saturday, or not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, there will be a mulching event at the Veterans Memorial on Huntington Drive. It will be under the auspices of Council District 14, although it will be supported by various members of the neighborhood council. So if you want to see how to mulch, it's free, it's available, and we can give you a lot of tips on how to mulch your yards and for your trees. We may be having another mulching event over at the El Sereno Recreation Center because the north side of the gym really needs it. So, again, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, say around 10 o'clock. You can come earlier if you want. Thank you.
10 o'clock. Thank you very much, Tom. Next Saturday. Do we have any other board member announcements?
Can I just say a quick thing?
Sure, go ahead.
I know Jackie worked extensively on this project, so I just wanted to thank her for all the work in making this upcoming project in 2 weeks happen and hope that we get a message before we can all participate. Thank you.
Thank you for those announcements, and we are encouraging all directors and stakeholders that are participating and involved with the neighborhood council. We do ask you to stay involved. It's very important that each of us give back in our own ways to serve our fellow stakeholders. Are there any other director announcements? We'll now move to department reports. These will be departments that are not listed on the agenda. Do we have any department reports within the city of Los Angeles? None for 6A. We now move to 6B, which is the public safety. We have on our agenda first listed is LAPD.
Good evening. My name's Frank Dominguez. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm the new senior lead for the El Sereno area. I just got appointed 2 months ago. Before that, I was the footbeat. I know some of you here are on the board. I was the footbeat on Huntington Drive for the last 6 years, working in conjunction with Weezer's office and Susie Lopez and Julio Torres that work out of that office. Also working in connection with the city attorney, Cynthia Gonzalez. So I'm gonna give you guys my email and my telephone number, my cell number. If you guys have any questions or anything I can help you with. It's area code 424-339-5038, and my email is 32068@lapd.online. Okay, and I'll be giving updates as they come along and let you know for the new year what's going on, and just giving updates monthly as you guys have your meetings. And if you have any questions or concerns, email me, call me. Like I said, I work close with different entities and resources around the city that we can try and combat whatever problems or concerns that you guys may have in the community. Okay?
Hi, good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Cynthia Gonzalez. I'm the Deputy City Attorney and Neighborhood Prosecutor assigned to the Hollenbeck Division. Within that, it's El Sereno, Boyle Heights. So all of my misdemeanor quality of life cases come out of these areas. I vertically prosecute, so I take them directly from a senior lead officer to court.
And I work with the community to determine what are the issues happening in terms of like, do we need a restraining order against this person? Is this a problem person in the neighborhood? Or do we need to contact the owner for a vacant lot or a house that has been blighted or is in bad condition? So I work hand in hand with the senior lead officers, including Frank. So any quality of life issues that you may be experiencing, anywhere from like homelessness to the ice cream truck noise, I handle along with Frank. And feel free to reach out to me. My email is Cynthia, CYNTHIA .Gonzalez, GONZALEZ @lacity.org. And my telephone number is 213-978-2231. And again, like Frank said, if you guys want us to come by and present on any of the hot issues that we're handling in terms of like homelessness or anything else, that crime trends that you think are affecting your neighborhood directly, feel free to reach out to us and we'll come by with pamphlets or whatever you guys need. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. One moment. We have one director has a point of information.
Point of information, just question about, on Edlock.
The lot by Station 47, they cleared that out and it's wonderful, yay! But now I see that there's some campers that used to park on the street there, so I know that there's some activity. I know they're probably living there and same thing, but just if you're aware of it, then thank
So
you.
we're actually very well aware of that lot. We worked with the owner for a while, including Frank and sanitation, and the owner was somewhat cooperative. So we were able to clear it out, and she assigned a property manager to kind of maintain it while she's not there. And what happened was the property manager allowed the RVs to come back and just park there. I think there's one person living in one of the RVs. And so we're trying to deal with that issue now, but at least it's not visually like it was before. Because I know there's a lot of trash buildup, so.
Yeah, because I live up on the hill and I can look down and I see what's happening there. But I also had a concern because I saw 2 kids come out of there, so.
RV.
Yeah.
One of the guys that manages the lot there, his 2 sons help him manage the parking lot. So I think they're 16 and 17 years old. So you'll see them come and go.
Thank you.
Is there anything else, Ms. Marcia?
Can you just repeat your email again, please, Frank? I think a few of us had a hearing issue at the end.
Okay, sorry, I'm a little sick, but it's 32068 @lapd.online.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you from the police department. We'll now continue with our public safety reports from the fire department.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jamie Lisinski. I might have been here before. I've been at Italian 2 now for about 3 months, and I'll probably be here for the rest of my career, about 6 more years. The good thing is you had vacancies at Italian 2 for over a year, and so it was nice when I came in. There was going to be that consistent presence here. I haven't got really at the low with a lot of names. I came from Homeland Security. I worked Homeland Security for 12 years, so for me to come back to the field, it's something I really treasure because I like working in the community instead of the national level. I think I was starting to get a little burned out. Personally, overwhelmed with the CERT program. Okay, we started the CERT program. I worked at Battalion 1, which is headquarters downtown. Much more transition in and out people. Now this is much more residential. We have a very, very strong CERT program in Battalion 2. And I believe that they are having classes start at the end of the month in February. So if you contact me, we can give you the exact classes. And they are now putting out, you'll see handouts and everything. They're putting out big brochures. They're pushing it out to get people enrolled in the program. If you're not familiar with this program, it's basically 7 classes that teaches you how to first rescue or save yourself, and then second, rescue or save your neighbor. And then fit into a big organization if we have a disaster, earthquake, any type thing, big brush fire. So it's a really good program. I think it builds a lot of community resiliency into that. It's the first thing on there. Also, the first month of Toys for Tot, over 30,000 toys were collected. The first month alone. Tremendous. I have 10 fire stations. One of my fire stations was calling in every day because they were getting so many donations that they come by and pick up. Only one other station, which is 105, is in the valley, beat that station.
Wow.
So that's phenomenal, and that's this area right here, an area of giving. I like that. So congratulations to that. Way to start off the new year. Yeah, it was tremendous. I mean, to see everybody working so hard. And the last thing is, we're still hiring. If you have young people of that age, I'm going to tell you, I never thought I'd be a firefighter. I actually wanted to be a teacher when I graduated from college. I took this job so I didn't have to stock groceries while I was going to get my teaching credentials, and I fell in love with it. And it's 29 years later, and I'm still here, and I love it. So if you have young folks, people who are like athletic, who like team building, who are selfless, you know, and who don't like school so much, this is a great job. This is a great job. And then the last thing, I had 4 LAPD officers here, and I bit my tongue because I'm really, you know, it's usually the cat and dog, the whole thing. But I did want to say thank you because they do a great job, you know, and they don't get the love the fire department does. So I was going to embarrass them. But Happy New Year's. Any questions? Okay, so I heard contact. Before I do that, I forget this. I would give you my phone number, but I run 10 stations. Your stations here are fire stations 16 and 47. Okay, so it's real easy. 485-6216 for 16. 485-6247 for fire station 47. If the way the organization is built, you go through them. If they can't handle it, they come to me. Okay, now you come from the top down, but usually it's a little bit better if you get your local captain in there. Now I have questions, and I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off.
Yes, from the board. Do we have anything from the board?
Question, what time are the CERT classes?
The evening classes and weekend classes, there's going on 2 different programs, so they capture 2 different people. They keep, let me give you more details. I literally they called me up and said, we are moving our hiking time and our CERT classes towards the end of the month because we have too many people in conflict with some other things. So they just printed up the posters and everything. I just found out today, and I was like, oh, and I forgot. I already forgot. So I know.
I'm sure it's online?
Yes, it is online. And can I send it to you?
Absolutely.
Perfect. I will post it again online. Sorry about that. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, Tom.
A little question. Are any of the meetings between 7 and 9 on the first Wednesdays of the month?
For certain? For certain. No, it's usually just, I don't know about that one. You're going to have to ask that one about that one.
Because they did announce one.
Yeah, maybe that's why they moved it. Because they said they had to move, there's a conflict, they had to move the dates. That's why they're making new posters and everything today. I'm sorry, I called up. So that might have been, it might have been your fault. So, okay. So.
Anything else from the board?
Just a quick question, what's the deadline to register for the class?
Literally just started announcements today, so I'd say 2 weeks.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna call this guy. I'm getting embarrassed I didn't have it. I should have brought it up.
Do we have anything further from the directors?
Sir.
Would you spell, is it C-E-R-T?
C-E-R-T, Community Emergency Response Team.
Okay, that was my next question. Thank you.
And, yeah, it actually originated here in Southern California due to the earthquakes, probably 3 decades ago. And Japanese and Australia, New Zealand are the international, they are the incredible people in that one now. But they've taken that, what we started here. And it wasn't because of the earthquakes, but it's a great program.
Anything else from the directors? Just pertaining to what the fire department is speaking on your agenda, you'll see the next item. It says CERT reports. They are not here this evening, which is our battalion coordinator. I am the Station 47 team leader, and to assist with some of the information tonight is class number 1. It's being held in Glassell Park, and it goes for 7 consecutive weeks. And the class that the chief just spoke about, the next one in our area, will be held in Herman, and I believe it is the last week of February, if not possible, the first week of March. But all board members and stakeholders will be informed through the LA 32 Neighborhood Council website, and I'm sure the chief will be back in February to make an announcement, and we'll have the exact dates at a location much closer to here. As I'm saying, this evening, the CERT classes are beginning in Glassell Park, which is part of Battalion 2, and then the next level of training will be held in Herman, which is very close by, about 4 to 6 minutes away. Do we have any other public safety reports? Anything related to CERT? Item 6B is closed, and I will move to government report, which is item 6C. The first one on here is from the Senator's office. Do we have any representatives from our Senator's office? C2 is the congressional representatives. Do we have anyone from the Congressional District 34? Anyone from the governor's office? Do we have any state senator representatives here this evening? Representatives from the state assembly member's office? Welcome.
Good evening, board members. My name is Roberto Gama. Let's start off saying Happy New Year's, stakeholders. What I wanted to share today is a couple of events that we're going to be having January and February, and then also I brought with me a worksheet that has all the different bills that were signed into law that specifically carried by Assemblymember Jimmy Gomez. I have a handout, looks something like this. So if anybody has any questions on those bills, I'll be around. Some of the events I wanted to mention though, the 28th of January, we're going to be having a self-defense class here in El Sereno. We're looking to team up with Barrio Action. It's a 2-hour class. We have about 30 spots. So we'll be providing more information. We'll probably be putting it on Facebook since we're trying to push that. It's a little last minute. And then we're also going to be doing a tree adoption event in February 12th, and that'll more than likely be in front of Fruitalis. If anybody has any questions, feel free to send them over. Other than that, thank you for your time, and we look forward to a new year.
Excellent. Thank you, Roberto. Do we have anything from the state assembly member's office? Okay, the next item, you did?
I'm sorry, I didn't
Go
hear
ahead,
what was.
Mr. Go ahead.
Hi, I didn't hear what the first event was, if you could elaborate on that a little bit more. And then I was wondering, my understanding that there was some changes with how our cultural workers are being paid, and I was wondering if Jimmy was involved with any of that, or if you could provide information at the next possible meeting.
Absolutely. I'm not sure what specifically. Is there like a specific question regarding the agricultural workers? Or?
So what I heard through the grapevine was that there was change. Right now, they're not paid overtime until after 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some looking at having that changed, and I think I talked to Jimmy a long time ago about it, just in some of the employment stuff. So if you had any information on that. And then the other question was, I didn't hear what your first event was,
Okay.
or the date or time.
So there might be potential legislation coming through. I know there's a couple of current assembly members. I believe Assemblymember Lorena Gonzalez, she was carrying something like that last year. She might be reintroducing something this year. So I'd be happy to provide more information at the next meeting. And then as far as the first event, it's a self-defense class. So it's for women. It's a women's class, women's self-defense class. It's a 2-hour class where you're basically instructed by an instructor from Cal State LA, I believe. And we'll be having it here at Barrio Action.
Did you know when, or
The 28th of January.
20th?
28th, Saturday.
Do you know what time?
We don't have the time set yet, but it'll more than likely be in the morning. It'll probably be from 10 to 12.
Okay, nice. I'm sure you can send out maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Roberto.
Thank you.
The next office we have is from the Los Angeles County Supervisor. District 1, any representatives? Do we have any from the mayor's office this evening? Our Los Angeles City Council member, Jose Weezer's office. Good evening, welcome.
Hello everyone, Happy New Year. Just have a few announcements. Just wanted to invite everyone, as it was already announced before, who beat me to it, Mr. Williams, to the El Sereno Veterans Memorial Beautification Project. And I did bring flyers with the information of the date and time. They're in the back. So basically this is taking place at the median on Huntington Drive and Van Horn. The date is Saturday, January 14th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we just would like all of you to join us as we beautify the area with mulch and light landscaping. If you have any further questions, just give us a call at the office, but as mentioned, there's flyers in the back. Also, I wanted to announce, I didn't bring flyers today, so if you want to write it down, we do have our Business Watch meeting taking place on January 10th, which is next Tuesday, at our office in our conference room from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Again, that's for our Business Watch meeting, and those take place every second Tuesday of the month. And lastly, I would just like to encourage everyone to sign up for our weekly e-blast. It's basically, we add on there very important information that happens in council, past events, photos of past events, and flyers and updates of upcoming events. So if you're interested in signing up for that, I really encourage you, just email me, and most of you have my email. If you don't, it's Susana, SUSANA, .Lopez, LOPEZ, @lacity.org. Other than that, that's it for tonight. Any questions for me?
Nice. The business watch is 10 to 11 a.m.?
10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
On
Every
Tuesdays.
Tuesday, every other?
Every second Tuesday of the month, yeah. Anything else?
Go ahead, Marcia.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the purpose of the business watch meeting and what gets done there? I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if, as a economic development committee, we should be involved with coordinating.
So it's basically very similar to like the neighborhood watch meetings, but it's just for businesses. So LAPD is present. So for our new ESLO senior lead officer, Frank Dominguez, will be present. Our office is there, and just different business owners come by and have this meeting, and they express any concerns or questions that they might be having in regards to their business or anything they feel that might be dangerous around that area.
So I think as a committee, we're going to see if we can have one representative attend so that we don't have any Brown Act issues. But if not, would we be able to provide you with information so that we can provide it to the businesses? Right now, we're still continuing our process of doing outreach to the business community.
Yeah, that would be great. Just go ahead and email me, and I'll bring it up at the meeting.
Thank you.
Anything further for this council member's representative? Thank you so much, Susie. The last item on item 6 is the Los Angeles City Attorneys. We did hear from the City District Attorney's Office, the Neighborhood Prosecutor's Office, Cynthia Gonzalez, who spoke during the Police Department's report, and I'll probably be moving that item right under the Police Department, which will be heard a little bit earlier. But yes, Cynthia Gonzalez did speak to us. Item 6 is closed. We now move to item number 7, which is the approval of our minutes. We have several months' worth of minutes to approve this evening. Hopefully you had a chance to review them prior to tonight, and they should be available in your packet. I'm going to give the board about 3 minutes to take a look at them. If the stakeholders wish to review the minutes, we have them available on the wall. And within that same allotted 3 minutes, feel free once again to go help yourselves to the hospitalities offered this evening by LA 32 Neighborhood Council, and the preparations were granted to us by Southwest Catering, and that the food is available in the kitchenette. So I'll give the board members about 2 or 3 minutes just to review the minutes.
Mr. President?
Yes?
These minutes were emailed to them a week ago.
Yes,
So, you know.
correct. Everyone did have them.
Says December, but we don't have December for item 7.
Okay, so I just indicated them on the months in case they were available, we could approve them. The months needing to be heard are September, October, November, and December. If we don't have them, then we'll just scratch the item or table it till next month. Not scratch it, but table it till next month.
And we have one on the wall.
Yes, they're on the wall.
So December is stable till next, so November, December will be good.
Okay, what I do is I'll just put a circle and indicate it that they need to be agendized next month.
President Lozano, can I make a comment?
Absolutely, we're like on a 2-minute recess. Go ahead, Miguel.
So I have, as you know, I set up the recorder, the camcorder, and I record all the meetings. And so I haven't been able, there's something has happened that I'm not able to upload the videos onto my computer anymore. There's an error that pops up. So I have November and December recorded, but it's on a hard disk. It's on the external hard drive that belongs to LA32. So I still can't upload it I can't put it in a format that allows me to compress it and then put it online. So just so you guys know, it's not online because I'm having difficulty with it. But I do have it, so if anyone needs to see it, I can make it available.
Excellent, thank you so much, Miguel. Relating to the minutes, at this moment, the reason why we're delayed on approving some of them is we are shy of having a recording secretary. Perhaps this evening we'll be filling that position. If that position is not filled, I have made an effort to communicate with Wilson High School, and perhaps we could work with the student body there at Wilson High School and perhaps some of their staff, their president or recording secretary as a student, can come and volunteer and take the minutes from our meetings directly here at the meeting, so they don't have to spend excessive time reviewing the videos or doing it at a later date. So if we don't have a recording secretary appointed or elected actually this evening, in the future, my efforts are to acquire a volunteer to take the minutes. The 2 minutes have expired, so at this time, do we have a motion for item number 7? Well, we have to have a motion first.
I'll make a motion.
Very well, go ahead, Kathy. Okay, for which month?
September and October. September.
Okay, we're gonna do one at a time, that's why it indicates the word separately right at the very end. September, okay. Do you have a motion to approve the minutes for the month of September? Second by Cynthia. Okay, now if you wish to make an amendment or correction, feel free.
Number 13. And on, my name is spelled wrong, so spell with a C.
Okay, I have my minutes here before me, let me make those corrections.
7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 9, and 10.
Item 13, you said? And how do you spell it, Kathy? It's K-A-T-H-Y. Okay, so it's correct here. Oh, I was looking at 12, I was looking above 13, okay, go down. Kathy?
It needs to be corrected throughout to be Kathy with the K.
Yeah, but is it in the roll call? Because I see her name spelled correctly in the roll.
Just throughout the document. Also, you look at, I think his last name is spelled incorrect, also throughout the document.
Yeah, Pacheco, Pacheco.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's spelled correct.
So I think we just, I mean, I don't think we should spend all this time going through 200 of that. I think we just need to make a motion that they need to be corrected throughout.
I mean, on an amendment.
Okay,
Yes,
amend the motion that both
Oh, I
need to
see.
be corrected throughout the document.
Okay. I'm just making a notation for references. Fair enough, Kathy. What happens is your amendment we recognize as all corrections for your spelling, which is Kathy Leal, and all corrections for the spelling of Hugo Pacheco, P-A-C-H-E-C-O.
I second that amendment.
Well, yeah, that's right. Thank you very much for that. This is by Kathy.
What's the wording again, Kathy, for your amendment? So I can put it on the recording? Someone said it really nicely, all the names of, everywhere where Kathy and you were,
Correct.
and then Kathy's name, is that what it was?
And Hugo Pacheco, P-A-C-H-E-C-O.
I don't agree to do a vote or raise of hands for the amendment.
Let me read the hands. Spelling corrections.
I think, do we have to have public comment on this?
Well, not on the amendment, but on the main motion, but I don't have no public comment first. So, right now I'm just making the notes, correction on Pacheco. Okay. So we have are there any other amendments or corrections other than the spelling that we just acknowledged, which would be for Kathy Leal and Hugo Pacheco? What we'll do is we'll take a position on the amendment first, which is just to make the corrections. I have the, what are you going to call this, the vote form? Voting form? Is that what they call it? Okay. Indicated on here says that LA 32 Neighborhood Council amend the names, Kathy's name, it's Kathy apostrophe S, and Hugo Pacheco, Kathy Leal and Hugo Pacheco. Those in favor of the amendment of the spelling corrections, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll be 12 members, total is yes. None are saying no, 1 abstain. My name is here. And the absent this evening is, Pacheco absent. And here it indicates that it will be signed by Michelle Corsantes and Miguel Vargas. This is completed. The motion passes for the amendment with 12 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstention. And that'll be moved to the main motion, which is now corrected. We have the motion for the month of September before us. All those in favor of the motion to approve the meeting minutes for the month of September, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 in favor. None opposed, 1 abstention. And then the rest of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That item passes as well, 1201. That's the approval for the month of September are approved. The minutes for the month of September are approved. Do we have any approval for the minutes for the month of October?
I'd like to amend the minutes to correct Mr. Pacheco's last name.
Okay, we need a second for that one. Jackie. Thank you, Marcia. And Jackie.
For October, correct?
Are there any other corrections to the October minutes?
It has Hugo Pacheco spelled incorrectly.
Yes, that's what Marcia just mentioned. So correction for the spelling of Hugo Pacheco. The amendment is to correct the spellings for Hugo Pacheco. Are there any other corrections? We'll first take a position on the amendment. The amendment will be for all spelling corrections indicated in the month of October's meeting minutes. The spelling correction will be specifically for Hugo Pacheco, just for proper spelling purposes. All in favor of approving the amendment, please raise your hand. Mr. Luna, are you participating in this hand? Okay, that'll be 12. 12 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstention. And the abstention here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That will be 12 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstention for the amendment for the month of October. The amendment will be included on the corrections. We now have the motion approved, motion by Kathy, seconded, motion by Marcia, seconded by Jackie, is my notes. That'll be for the month of October. Right. All those in favor of approving the minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, that'll be 12 in favor. 0 opposed, 1 abstention. The meeting minutes for the month of October have been approved. Items for months of November and December, as indicated on the agenda, will be tabled to next month's meeting. Item 7 is closed. We now move to item number 8, which is our treasurer's report. Our treasurer is Michelle Corsantes. Please make your presentation.
Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Michelle Corsantes and I am the treasurer of LA 32. Just wanted to let you know that we're going above and beyond on transparency for stakeholders and board members. Every time we make an expense, or the office of the treasurer makes an expense, we scan the receipt, follow it up with the paperwork, and we email it to each board member so they know the expense that is occurring throughout the month, so they know when we sit here today, all the expenses already that have occurred. And then closer to this meeting day, we email them the entire packet again. We provide that for you over there on the wall. This time I went above and beyond where I actually labeled it, so you know how to, we broke it down for you by category, by operational expense. If somebody requested an MPG, in this case, we did have an MPG for the month of December. What committee did what expense? The receipt is on the front of the stapled paper, and on the back should follow the event form, and there should be an approval code from Empower LA. If there is no approval code, the Office of Treasurer will not do the expense until Funding Department, the city clerk, authorizes us to make any expenses. We also have, not only that, we have the web host, which is Aaron, and we have operational expense. So it'll always change on committees, because for this month, Arts and Culture and Green, Environmental Green are the ones that make their expenses. So with that being said, the total month for December of 2016 is $2,082 and 84 cents. Out of that $2,082 and 84 cents, $164 was for operational expense, which was the public storage that's located on Alhambra Road here in El Sereno. And the other was the outreach. Outreach is Arts and Culture, spent $371 and 89 cents for the month of December. Environmental Green, $246 and 14 cents. The meeting for the hospitality of December, $181 cents. And the web maintenance, $700, because we're behind on giving him his payments. So we're caught up on all the payments now. So for the outreach expense was $2,082 and 84, $1,418 and 84, plus the operation expense, 164, totals to $2,082 and 84 cents. And if you need to see the original documents, we always have them up here, or we can make it available to you, or email it to you, or we can meet somewhere in a public environment where you can view each receipt, original receipt, because we do hold on to all the original receipts. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the report. Do we have a motion for item number 8?
Motion to approve.
Yes, Miguel, thank you very much. And second by Jackie, thank you very much. I'm going to mark Miguel. Do we have any public comment on the monthly expense report? I don't have no cards before me. Any board members' discussion or debate?
No, it is roll call. That's why the negative.
The item before us is item number 8, Treasurer's Report for the month of December. I have that here before me. We'll take a roll call. Maribel Munoz? Yes. Jackie Carrillo?
Yes.
Kathy Leal?
Yes.
Perla Flores?
Yes.
Miguel Vargas?
Yes.
Michelle Corsantes?
Yes.
Karina Cruz?
Yes.
Jose Luna?
Yes.
Tom Williams?
Yes.
Sami Abdul Jabbar?
Yes.
Marcia Guzman?
Yes.
Cynthia Sandoval?
Yes.
We have 2 absences, myself, abstentions. This will give a total of 12 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 abstaining. The monthly expense report for the month of December has been approved, 1201. We still have one final item for item 8. Do we have a motion before the board?
What's the item? I'm a little bit confused.
Item 8. Maybe I didn't independently write them down, but it's, first one is the discussion and possible action for the approval of the LA 32 monthly expenditure report for December 2016. We just heard that item. The next item is still listed as 8, but it's right below it on your agenda.
So then I motion that LA 32 Neighborhood Council pay Apple One for 14 hours, which is $23.10 for each hour, for a total of $323 and 40 cents.
By Kathy, thank you very much. Kathy, do we have any public comment? Board members' discussion and debate for the approval to pay Apple One. Yes, Marcia?
I'm assuming that this is for the minutes, correct?
Correct.
So, I'm wondering what we're gonna be getting from this. We had this discussion last time, so my understanding is we were gonna be provided with an estimate of what they're looking for each meeting. So the meeting, if it's 3 hours, and how much that time that's gonna come afterwards. I'm also a bit confused, Anthony, as you had just mentioned, you had reached out to Wilson, and we're looking at bringing a student to come take minutes. So I'm wondering how that factors into this. So I would just appreciate more clarification. Thank you.
I will assist with some of the information. I believe it's in your package. I'm looking for it, which would be the invoice by Apple One. It was presented to us at the executive committee, and that's why it's agendized this evening. And the executive officers felt that it's proper that we pay Apple One for the minutes. Yes, it's in everyone's package. What happened is for the months that we did approve it, correct, September and October, we didn't have a recording secretary. Those were sent out. Apple One did provide the service. Their invoice is before you. I don't have it, but it's up there. It indicates a total of 14 hours. The rate for 2 separate meetings. The rate they charge is $23.10 per hour. Cumulatively, they did give a total of 14 hours. It was 3 hours for the meetings, then they went back and reviewed it for another 3 hours, which was 6. So for the second meeting, it was 6, and then for them to compose the minutes was pretty much an hour each, so it was an additional 6 and 6 is 12. Then you add 13, 14. There's the actual time card, actually. The treasurer's doing a fine job.
And it was emailed to them.
Yes, and I believe it's actually in your pocket. There's
So
like,
for transparency purposes, I'm gonna continue to ask that we have these conversations in front of the public, just to let you know where my position is and why I'm asking these questions.
no, I understand that. And, right. And it was provided to the public, and we heard this at the executive committee meeting. So we'll always include the public at all our decision making. And then relative to the student, if that's possible, what's going to happen is if we don't get a recording secretary, my ultimate decision is we have to have someone preparing the minutes, and I don't want to be spending $200 and something, $323 or half of that every month. There could be other resources that we could use this money for the stakeholders, and what I would do is encourage one of the students at Wilson High School to participate at our February meeting. That's if this evening we do not acquire a recording secretary.
I was wondering if I was there.
Oh, I didn't know.
I was there.
Okay, go ahead then, Michelle, go ahead. Yeah, anything?
Oh, yeah, speaking on the item, because we're discussing to
Correct.
approve this.
The time report and the funding.
Yes. History to this, 2 months ago, the previous president assigned previous recording secretary Rolando to do vendors, to bring forward. Didn't do too much of a good job, just kind of brought a paper that didn't give us enough. We voted, you all remember, we said 100 a month, and Marcia challenged it, but yet we still voted and approved 100 a month. Kind of blindly just saying 100 to whatever vendor Rolando's gonna give us, but Rolando really didn't bring a vendor forward. So like after a month and a half, we got an invoice. Actually, Rolando forwarded to me saying, there it is, right there. So that's when I started contacting Apple One, saying, okay, what work have you done? So I initiated myself as a treasurer to get the invoice, to get the time card, and that's what they did. They didn't sit here at those 2 meetings. They viewed our footage from our YouTube link, and they did it in 14 hours. That is over 100 a month. So that's why the executive board, at the executive board, we brought it forward, so you guys know that it's gonna be more. So it's not gonna be 100 a month, it's gonna be more than it's gonna be more than 100 a month, because Robert from Apple One and Alma told me that it takes about 4 hours for Grace, because there's her name, the one that did the minutes, if you read it, her name is Grace. She read them, she looks at them, she types them, she takes 4 hours. Then she has to go back another 3 hours to kind of edit and fix it. So he said, Robert from Apple One said, it's going to take about 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 10, a meeting. So this is a total of 14 in just 2 meetings. So this, just so you know, that this is why we need a recording secretary, and this is why we need to pay them. Regardless, we need to pay Apple One so they could pay that 10th person who did those minutes. So they need to be paid. So that's why executive board brought it forward. And it breaks it down the days that her name is Grace, the girl that did these minutes, from what time to what time she did them. And this, once again, was emailed to you a week ago. And I specified on the email, if you have any questions on this, you can email me at that time, and I can clarify it at that time as well. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna move now to Maribel. Okay, next Marcia. Maribel first, you spoke once. I'm just gonna give someone who hasn't spoken. Yeah, Maribel.
So
Yeah.
just for clarification purposes, so this payment is for the month of September, October, or
Yes.
November?
Thank you, Maribel. Cynthia Sandoval.
Yeah, I also remember.
Yeah, I also remember that at the executive board meeting, we did have a discussion in regards to two stakeholders that were interested. Mr. Song, can you please give us an idea, can a stakeholder help us with this as well? I know the school would probably be able to help us because it's an entity and we could give them some school hours possibly, but what can a stakeholder do for us?
Yeah, if it's not paid, sure. You know, your board has a choice to have a stakeholder or some school do your minutes. But if you want to give that person a stakeholder to pay, then they would need to go through this Apple One agency process. So that's just.
Yes, Marcia, go ahead now.
I was just curious, and it's just a thought, if it was, because I think part of the problem that why we don't have someone to do the recording secretary position is that it's a lot of work every month, on top of being here at the meeting. Is this a position that can be rotated month to month so that sort of everyone takes an opportunity, everyone has the responsibility at some point every year, and that way it's not such a burden for one individual, to do? I just wanting to throw it out there because I feel like we all are willing to do it at some point, we just can't, it's too much to do it all the entire term. So I just want to throw it there.
Thank you for that. I'll help you with that answer. What happened is we would hope that the recording secretary can fulfill their obligation of performing the minutes at the meeting, live. So basically someone who's a good typist would be able to complete their minutes and have them prepared actually before we leave the meeting. So they don't have to go home. There's no extra homework. There's no extra watching videos. There's no extra doing all this other work. Aside from that, and I love the idea about having various people take the minutes for the meetings, but that makes things complicated for our executive meeting because there's no official indicated representative as an officer, which we will need at times to establish quorum. So if we have a floating recording secretary by chance, it does not assist with conducting meetings, and we cannot give them the official capacity as recording secretary by title, so therefore we still officially have a vacancy, and that's making the executive committee meetings complicated.
Will we be able to have an official recording secretary who shares their duties, rotates them with the rest of the board?
The way I see it is the recording secretary will have the title, and if the minutes are approved by their daughter or their neighbor by the following month, to me it doesn't matter, because we're willing to even accept the minutes from a stakeholder. So in reality, the person doing the minutes can be anyone. Someone has to hold the title, which will and ultimately be the one who is responsible. Yes, Mr. Vargas?
The best way to do this is to get a student to do it. That's
Probably so far,
without a
so
doubt.
far.
Rough subject, that's for when we're voting on discussing the election of the recording secretary. I know we're
Right.
voting on the amount.
Yes, good points. Thank you very much, Marcia, and thank you very much, Miguel, for your input. That's what we need is ideas. And yes, I'm getting an idea of what's the best way to do it, but I'm trying to also conserve our money. And just like the treasurer explained, maybe for the stakeholders who are here, we had already approved to pay Apple One, but that monthly expense was $100, and when we received the invoice, it was exceeding those $100. So I felt that it was important to bring it back to the board so that this board knows that we are paying higher than what we had already anticipated on, and perhaps the board will no longer be using those type of services unless we wish to increase our monthly expense again, but then of course that will be taking money from our committees.
Can we call for the vote? And also I'd like to let
This
you know
motion
that
was prepared by Michelle and Kathy.
7:19, Mr. Rolando arrived.
Yes, I did mark that down. Thank you very much, Jackie. Yes, that is, I marked down 7:17. Yes, Tom?
One of the things I've noticed is what is the scope of the services? Does everything have to be recorded? I don't believe so. I will go down tomorrow to Dunn and find out what is the minimum required, because it's my impression that the only things that have to actually be recorded are the votes. Not the discussion beforehand, not anything other than the vote. But I can go down tomorrow to Dunn and check with them.
Right. Go ahead, Tom, if you want to answer that.
You know, yeah, other councils have used these services, and right, 6 to 8 hours is standard for like a three-hour meeting, time to do the meeting, also time to prep. But also at the same time, some minute takers are very different from each other. We've had cases where, you know, Kathy Leo walked in here and she said this, and it's like almost like a dictation, right? There's no requirements for your board to have that type of details, but that's really up to your board. What's important to us and for you, I think for the board members, is capturing the votes. I think those are probably the most important things of which stakeholders said what, you know, the general description, but there's really no mandatory, you know, you need this or that. The only thing is that there is a Board of Neighbor Commissioners, there's a minutes policy that we do ask neighbor councils to take minutes. I could forward that to the board, but then I don't think that encompasses every little single dictation detail. That's a dictation, not just minutes though.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Point.
Yes, Tom, go ahead.
In one of the neighborhood council congresses, this was actually a subject, and the general consensus there was the only thing that needed to be done is the count. Whether it be by roll call or numbers is even a point of clarification that needs to be done.
Thank you. Do we have any other discussion and debate for the motion to pay Apple One $323.40? Since we're increasing the payment, this will be a roll call vote since this is a financial obligation to pay Apple One. Start at the top of the list, Maribel Munoz.
Yes.
Jackie Carrillo.
Yes.
Kathy Leal. Perla Flores.
Yes.
Miguel Vargas.
Yes.
Michelle Corsantes.
Yes.
Karina Cruz.
Yes.
Jose Luna. Tom Williams. Sunny Abdul Jabbar. Marcia Guzman. Cynthia Sandoval. Rolando Lopez. And myself abstain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 0. With the addition of Rolando Lopez voting on this item, the total tally is 1202. That passes to pay Apple One $323.40. Yeah. Okay, so that'll close item number 8. Now we move to item number 9, which is discussion and possible action to elect our officer. The first vacancy is for the vice president.
I have a question.
We have the bylaws here. We'll be electing our officer. Yes, Kathy?
Is there going to be committee reports?
No. The committee reports is just basically a report that had the committee had a real action item. They would have presented it to the executive officers in writing, and then there would have been an agenda item to vote on it. But no, not specifically a committee report. But if the committee wanted to present any recommendations, they would have done so at the executive committee, and it would have been on the agenda tonight. To vote though.
What if you don't want to vote?
Right. Then perhaps maybe you could have done it during your announcements. But I didn't label it as a committee report to hear all committees.
Oh, because I've been waiting.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We didn't do public comment either.
Right now, we're moving to item number 9. On the agenda is item number 9, discussion and possible action to elect the officers. I have the bylaws. Do we need to read the bylaws? Because I know the process, but are you guys all familiar with what we do? The election of the officers is conducted by the board and all stakeholders present.
You didn't do public comment on item 8, so just a reminder to please do it on the next item.
For the voting of the Apple One?
Yes.
Okay, right. Well, I'm sorry if I did not exclude it. I don't have public comment cards here, but I don't believe I asked specifically, but I'll keep that in mind. It makes it easier if all public comment cards are submitted. I'll have them here before me. We do keep these for record, and the only ones I have up to item 4. And had there been anything beyond item 4, we will absolutely be hearing them. Thank you so much, Marlene. Item 9, the way we do the process as indicated in the bylaws is all stakeholders present, all board members present at the meeting elect our officers. All candidates, or all directors basically, are eligible if you're the officers. And if you're already in officer seat, you resign to acquire a new position. So we don't have people holding two offices at the same time. So first, we'll just open it up for nominations.
I'd like to nominate Miguel Vargas.
Second.
Okay.
Everybody second.
It's a, let me mark that. Marcia. It's just a nomination, it's not a motion. Right, it's just a nomination. So Marcia nominates, correct, Miguel. Miguel, do you accept?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other nominations? Any nominations from the board? We'll also include stakeholder nominations. Is there anyone on the public that you feel on this side of the table should be representing you as our vice president? Any nominations from the stakeholders that you could only elect or select from directors up here? This will be for the position of vice president. Open nominations are closed. We only have one candidate at this time. Miguel Vargas is the sole candidate for the position of vice president, which is item number 9. Our bylaws will indicate that all stakeholders present and board members present can vote to affirm the position of our officer. Since Miguel is our only candidate, there is no competition, but we will take a hand vote and a board vote to confirm the election process.
I do have a question for Miguel.
Did you want to speak?
You have a question, Tom? Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I've never seen one of you guys see uniforms.
But, you know, I got it in the closet.
Since the open nomination for the vice president position is closed, meaning we will not be taking any more candidates, Miguel, do you wish to speak to us to acknowledge why you feel accepting of the position?
Yes, I would like to speak.
Fair enough, great.
So, hello, welcome everyone. You know, it's the same faces that come to these meetings every month, right? And it's those of us who really want to put the time in and who really care. And as many of you know, I ran for president against Anthony, but after kind of reflecting on it a little bit, Anthony deserves to be the president because he puts the time in. He's the face of this organization. He's everywhere. You see, he's got the best ideas for what to do, right? But I think that having Anthony as our president, I think he needs a very strong vice president to be able to kind of just help make sure that the meetings run the way they're supposed to be running, make sure that the events go the way they're supposed to be planned. And, you know, I hope to be that person. I hope to continue to be involved. And even if I was not nominated and I was not elected vice president, I still would continue to come to these meetings. I plan to be involved in the neighborhood for quite some time, and I appreciate your guys' support. And I hope to work together with everyone on this board to make sure we're able to produce the best events, make sure we're able to advocate on behalf of everyone in the neighborhood. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you very much. We have the voting documentation here before me. Is to ratify Miguel Vargas as our vice president of LA 32 Neighborhood Council. I'm going to go and take each board by name, and then we'll take a consensus by the stakeholders because they're also allowed to participate in the election of our officers. So if I just call your name, all you have to do is say yes or no if you wish to vote for Miguel Vargas, although he is our only candidate and will be a fine addition to our officers or to executive committee. Just indicate yes or no as I call your name. Maribel Munoz.
Yes.
Jackie Carrillo.
Yes.
Kathy Leal. Perla Flores.
Yes.
Miguel Vargas.
Yes.
Michelle Forsantes.
Yes.
Karina Cruz. Jose Luna.
Yes.
Tom Williams.
Yes.
Sani Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
Marcia Guzman.
Yes, and go Chargers.
Cynthia Sandoval.
Yes.
Rolando Lopez.
Yes.
Myself, Anthony Manzano. I do take a affirmative position this time. We have a total of 14 board members who have voted in favor. And 0-0. And we'll now take the stakeholders because you're also allowed to be included in the tabulation for the election of our officers, which will give Miguel Vargas a total number of elected votes for this evening, Vice President. All stakeholders wishing to participate in electing Miguel Vargas for Vice President, please stand up and I will count you from this location if Tom wants to help validate that as well. We only have one candidate, so I don't know if they actually want the line as we usually do it, but we'll accept all stakeholders voting.
Oh, do you want to just come up like that? Like
Okay. It makes it easy. Makes it easy.
No, exercise. Okay. So
Okay,
one is
feel
voting
free,
for.
step to your left and approach Tom,
Come here.
and we'll take a hand count, right?
Okay, we'll start with Troy. Okay, so take this down, Michelle.
Yeah, we'll take
One, two, hold on, come this way.
Yeah.
So three, 4,
4,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Plus, okay. That's gonna be an additional 10 stakeholders that will be added to the tabulation. I'm gonna put right here.
Put it in the bottom, right there, big letter.
Oh, I do see it. 10. Perfect, Michelle. I was going to do that too. Excellent. That will now confirm that Miguel Vargas is our Vice President serving the LA 32 Neighborhood Council. Yes, like I mentioned, he'll make a fine addition to the officer seat. And actually, we have the Vice President seat right here. With little anticipation, we already have a place card with Miguel being as Vice President, right? Fair enough. With little anticipation. Okay, so now item number 9 is closed, and now we're gonna move to item number 10, was the same process, which will give us an opportunity to fulfill our obligation in filling the recording secretary's position. Do we have any nominations for item 10, the filling of our recording secretary? And we all know how vital it is. We just had minimal discussion on it.
I nominate Jackie Correa.
Okay, right, I'm gonna write it down. Michelle. Jackie, do you accept?
She said it?
Yes. I'm taking notes, so now I can pay attention. Go ahead, Jackie Correa, do you accept the nomination for recording secretary?
I would love not to take it at this time because I have so much on my plate. But if it's still open, I'll consider it.
Thank you very much. Do we have any further nominations?
I nominate Abdul Jabbar.
Michelle?
You get a tablet, LA32 tablet right here, look.
Michelle nominates Sami.
Your desk is waiting here to be, you know, ready to go.
Sami, do you accept that
I'm
nomination?
going to have to respectfully decline because I simply don't understand the process enough just yet. But I'll be more than happy to assist in the future.
In the bylaws, there's an indication of what the responsibilities are of the recording secretary, and I would suggest that the best practical feature is someone who could type pretty good. That's all you really need. Just sit here and play with the laptop.
My assistant type.
Do we have any further nominations from the board?
I would like to nominate Marcia. She seems very knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah.
She always
Excellent.
makes good comments, and I think that she'd be great at this.
Honestly, I really appreciate the nomination, and if my health was in better condition, I would accept wholeheartedly. Unfortunately, because my health at times is up and down, I at this moment have to decline.
Understand. Thank you very much. Do we have any further nominations from the board? At this time, we'll open it up for stakeholders to nominate any board directors who you feel is capable of being our recording secretary. We'll take stakeholder nominations only because we offer the stakeholder the opportunity to vote in this process as well.
I'd like to nominate Thomas.
We cannot nominate the stakeholders, only nominations from the stakeholders. None from the stakeholders. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did last month and afford everyone the same opportunity, just because I know it's needed to have the seat filled, and I think being fair and impartial is the best practice. I'm going to start with my left. Kathy Leal, would you be willing to accept the nomination for recording secretary? Perla Flores, would you be willing to accept the nomination for recording secretary?
No, thank you.
Tom Williams, would you be willing to accept the nomination for recording secretary? Oh, thank you. Right, Marcia said no. Sani said no. Maribel Munoz, would you be willing to accept the recording secretary position? Okay. We already have the two officers on my left. which is Cynthia Sandoval and Miguel Vargas. This is the seat vacant here. Michelle is the other officer.
I will do it.
Right. And
Whoever
Jackie.
does it, I'll help you. We give you the template and it's very, it's easy if you like to type and you get to see the footage.
Right. Jackie already was nominated and she declined. Rolando Lopez, would you be our recording secretary? Karina Cruz, would you be our recording secretary? And I'd like to nominate Jose Luna to be our recording secretary. Okay. So what you've seen is we've offered all directors an opportunity to be our recording secretaries. He's not here at this time and we cannot accept his nomination or decline of this nomination. So what that's gonna do is he's gonna leave the recording secretary position still vacant. I'm gonna put a circle around it, which means it will be on next month's agenda until we fill this. It helps make our commitment as a recording officer. I have mentioned this before, I've been the recording secretary, and when I was the recording secretary, my minutes were done at the end of the meeting. It's not that much work, you just think it's all these meetings, all these YouTubes, I gotta watch videos, I gotta go home, I don't have time with my family. I learned to do this, and I learned to get my minutes done by 9:05.
Alfred, de facto.
Yes, Michelle?
I do have a question. Can stakeholders volunteer to do it? In the
Yes.
past, the last meeting, I had 2 stakeholders approach me after the meeting. They're obviously not here today because I told them I was going to nominate them, right? The 2 stakeholders approached me that they were interested if no board member does it, but I don't see them here, so I guess I'll invite them again next month because they did show interest that they would be willing to do it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. Next month, in the month of February, you will see where our challenge will actually become corrected, or we'll find a solution, because whether
I'm
it...
fine, I'm willing to take it.
What?
Okay, what I actually need to hear then, hold on, I like what she said, but what I actually need to hear, so that it's unrecorded, and since I'm the chair, I have to hear Marcia say that I wish to nominate myself. That's the words I need to hear.
I nominate Marcia.
Okay, thank you, Rolando. Marcia, now do you accept?
I accept the nomination, begrudgingly.
Okay, so let me make
The
my
notes are
notes.
gonna be minimal.
Right, okay, so let me make my notes that Rolando nominate Marcia. And you accept Marcia the nomination? Yes, okay. I'm gonna put a letter K for accept. Do we have any other nominations for recording secretary? We did go through the whole board, but just trying to be fair. We only have one candidate filling this position, which is Marcia Guzman, for the position of recording secretary, which will complete our officers elected by the stakeholders and the board. So before we take the vote, Marcia, do you wish to speak to us and give us a little idea of why you'd like to fulfill this position?
Peer pressure.
If not, just giving everyone a fair chance. Thank you.
Well, when you're a team, you get the job done, and it looks like job had to get done, so I'm going to step up and attempt this for as long as I can. No promises, but I promise you I will do my best until otherwise stated or noted. As you know, because of my health issue, sometimes I do have to leave early, but I will watch the end of the videos and do the notes and make sure that you guys get them before the appropriate time, and I will set up a time to meet with Anthony to have this discussion further, as well as Thomas, so that we at least encapsulate the basics that we need. Thank you.
Thank you very much for stepping up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at this time, what we'll do is, I have the roll call sheet before me. We only have one candidate filling the position of recording secretary. It is agenda item number 10. Marcia Guzman has accepted. What we'll do is we'll go through the tabulation here and just fulfill the board count, and then we'll take the stakeholders' participation and their vote just shortly after. Starting with Maribel Munoz. Maribel Munoz, I mark yes. Jackie Carrillo. Kathy Leal. Perla Flores. Miguel Vargas.
Yes.
Michelle Corsantes.
Yes.
Karina Cruz.
Yes.
Jose Luna.
Yes.
Tom Williams.
Yes.
Sami Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
Marcia Guzman.
Yes, but can I make this with clarification? This is starting next month, right? Not this
No.
meeting?
Right now.
Because this is kind of hard from this meeting, because I wasn't planning for that, and that would be a bit difficult. So can I make this dependent on starting next month?
Absolutely, but what we'll do is we'll work with you to make sure that when you submit your minutes, because they're gonna be your minutes submitting them, that they're completed. I'll help out.
You'll do
I'll
those
help,
for this
absolutely.
month then.
I'll pretty much, like I
Thank
said,
you.
any of
I'll
you
do
do
this
it,
month and then
and then we'll
I'll
just put your name on
I'll bring
it.
my laptop. Okay.
Cynthia
Thank you.
Sandoval. Okay, we have Rolando Lopez. Myself, Anthony Manzano, yes. That gives a total of 14 board members in favor. And now we'll have the same process for the stakeholders to participate and elect Marcia Guzman as a recording secretary. The stakeholders, please stand and step to your left and approach Tom, and he'll finalize the stakeholder tally.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got it.
Okay, that'll be a total of 6 stakeholders, which gives a total of 20 total voted in favor for Marcia Guzman to be a recording secretary.
Here you go, Marcia, right here. Here's a flash drive, and here's a checkout form for the laptop.
Yeah, you can take this
Or
item.
you just want the flash drive, not the
Okay, so close item 10.
laptop?
Excellent. Well, it probably looks like we're gonna finish our meeting extremely early. Yes, Maribel, before we move to the next item?
I just have a comment for Marcia. I know it's a lot of work. I took minutes in one time
Mhm.
and get confused. We get all desperate, try to get every single word that everybody says. Can she still get the help from any of the students in the high school? Can we still help her in a way to find out who can assist in this particular position?
Like I said, next month we were gonna have a challenge. Right now, it's actually a little bit easier. I could continue to communicate with the staff from Wilson, and if they could have a student available, I would really like that the student is here, and if they wanna earn the experience, earn the volunteer credit that they may need, they could actually maybe take the minutes live, hand them to Marcia, and then maybe she could just proofread them, correct them perhaps, and then have them available at the following month. So absolutely, any stakeholder can still take the minutes, but as of this point, Marcia Guzman will be attending our executive meetings and the one responsible for providing the minutes. She doesn't have to take them, so absolutely a student can still do it next month. And if you want me to work with that and just being more inclusive with the youth, I think that's a fine idea. It's not a youth seat, but we'll just have the youth here sort of being involved, taking the minutes, doing this type of work over here, and then Marcia will have much less work to do and maybe 20 minutes to proofread, just validate the minutes and put her name on them and submit it. Thank you very much for that input. Item 10 will now be closed. We'll now move to item number 11, which is the creation of an ad hoc committee. The presentation of this was established at the executive committee, and the executive committee did feel that it's important to establish an ad hoc committee. The president does name the committee, and then it has to be ratified by the board. And I'd like to have someone continue. There is.
Motion, item number 11.
Correct.
Presidency bylaws, Article 7, Section 2, the board may approve an ad hoc committee. Duties, the president shall appoint committee members, the chair of committees, and the duties are detailed in public agency bylaw section 7. Motion that LA 320 creates and establishes an ad hoc election voter engagement committee.
Do we have a second?
Second.
From Jackie, thank you very much. Now we'll open it for stakeholders or public comment on this item, which would be to establish or create an ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee. Do we have board member discussion? Yes, Miguel?
I just want to make sure that voter engagement is absolutely important, but, we should all be doing that. And I don't know that we necessarily need a committee, just because, my only reason for saying that is because we already have so many committees, and it's kind of hard to staff them as it is. So, just wanted to throw that comment out there.
Correct with your position that all board members should be engaging the community stakeholders and informing them of the proper process and the responsibilities to participate and vote. The purpose of establishing this committee will be to hold a candidate forum. Basically, this committee will be given a charge, just not for them to exist, but what we'd like to do is some of the candidates approach us during public comment. We would like to hold a town hall meeting and have them express their positions to a larger audience. So the committee will be established to host a candidate forum, which will be their responsibilities. Is there any other discussion and debate, particularly on creating or establishing an ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee? You don't have any public comment cards before us, and the board did already enter discussion. So, do we have a voter count? This will be just a hands up. We are not voting on any finances with this item. It's just to establish the actual committee as stated. Those in favor of establishing the committee, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And Rolando or Jose? No? 11. Okay, 11 with Karina Cruz. So he with the purpose, absent. Those opposing the creation of this committee, please raise your hand. Which is Rolando and Jose Luna. Okay. Rolando, no. Jose Luna, no. We did take public comment. Yeah, but none raised their hand. So I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The motion to establish an ad hoc voter engagement and elections committee is approved with 11 in favor, 2 opposed, 1 abstention. Now that the board has approved to create an actual ad hoc, create and establish an ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee, we will now appoint committee members, which is item 11.1. Are there any board members that are interested in chairing this position? All directors only, interested in chairing this committee. It is an ad hoc committee, which means it's a temporary committee. The elections will be held in March. I believe, if all goes well, this committee will be disbanded in the March meeting or perhaps the April meeting after the elections. So basically there's about 1 month of work, maybe 2 at the most, but the work is to conduct and host a forum, follow the process, agendize it, reach out to the candidates, make sure that they're all informed, and get as much participation from those candidates at the various seats in the upcoming election, and then inform the stakeholders that we're having a, if you want to call it a town hall forum, and then pick a date, invite the candidates, offer hospitalities, and then once the election is over in March, this specific ad hoc committee will be disbanded. Do we have any chairs to chair the ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee? Miguel?
I say something, President? I just want to say that I was at the executive meeting and I was looking for my notes from this gentleman here was there and there was another lady there and she was willing to help with this, and I spoke with Marlene as well. She said that they did this before and it was very successful. The only thing is I'm waiting for the district attorney to get back to me to see if it's a conflict of interest because I work for LAUSD. So I would like to be a part of that committee to help reach out, but I need to get that letter first.
Correct. Some of the positions open are for the school board candidate, and since you are an employee by LASD, I don't know the for sure answer, but yes, I would confirm with the city attorney to see if there is a potential conflict of interest. I don't want to give my answer, but I believe there will be, but I cannot state for the legal purposes, but if you want to maybe be considered later, we can do that, and we will not appoint you or select you at this time until we get confirmation from the city attorney.
I think that I'm not sure by where I live at. Yeah, city attorney. By where I live at, if I am under that district or not.
I'm not so sure if it pertains to the actual district that you reside in. I would say that it pertains to your employment. So that's where the potential conflict can arise. Are there any other directors who wish to nominate for the ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee?
A few comments and a question. I think Jackie is far enough removed from the school board that there wouldn't be a conflict. That's what I think. Jackie, are you interested in chairing this committee? What I'm just throwing a question out here. Is the chair of this committee also going to moderate the candidate forum?
It'll be up to the chair and the recommendation of the committee if they wish to moderate it, if they wish to have stakeholders moderate it, if they wish to have council staff moderate it. I don't not give that position. It's up to the committee to tell the board what to do. So that would be the sort of the charge of the committee to say, we're hosting it, we have 3 moderators, we picked who they are. It's not up to me to do the committee's work.
I'd like to nominate myself to chair this committee.
Yeah. Woo! That's the way you do it. I'll get that over.
Do we have any other directors who wish to nominate for themselves to be on this committee? Sani? Sani as well. Do we have any other directors interested in being on this committee? It is comprised of 3 members. It is the Ad hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee. So far, we have 2 potential candidates interested.
I'd be interested, but if Jackie ends up not having a conflict of interest, I'll step down for her then.
This is for chair, or
What I'm doing is I'm taking all names, and then the first person named usually becomes chair. So I haven't actually named them yet. We're just taking the nominations. So the chair has not been appointed yet.
And as a committee, it's going to be 2 directors and 1 stakeholder?
I'm not quite sure yet. It may be 1 board member and 2 stakeholders. It will be comprised of 3. I'll find out in maybe less than 1 minute if how many stakeholders are interested. And if we have multiple stakeholders, it may be 1 director, which is mandatory, and 2 stakeholders. That could be possible, but I don't know yet. I haven't got that far. But thank you very much, Cynthia. Any other directors interested in being on the committee?
President, question. So even if I'm not eligible to be a part of the committee, can I still help?
Oh, yes, absolutely. By all means, all participation is welcomed at all levels, the stakeholder and the board. But, right, to avoid the conflict of interest, if you're not a committee member, then there's no conflict. Simple. Well, I'll keep that in mind though, Jackie. Are there any other board members wishing to nominate themselves or another director to be on the ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee? So far I have 2. Do we have any stakeholders interested in participating on this committee?
Your ad hoc committees can have 5, so you can have 3 directors and then stakeholders.
I would like to do that, but I believe the bylaws does say 3.
The ad hoc committee could have, is 5 and could have multiple, as many as you need.
20 if you want.
An ad hoc can have
Chair by
20.
director.
Yes.
But I think your bylaws say 5.
I'll read them because I'm almost memorizing them. I'm just going to find the spot right here for you. And this is what it says. Article, let me see, it has to be Article 7, Section 3, Committee Creation and Authorization. In an effort to increase community participation, committee members need not be directors, but must be a stakeholder of LA 32NC. Only those committee members who are directors are eligible to serve as chair of the committee. And here's letter A to prove your point. With the exception of the executive committee, the president shall appoint 3 committee members for each committee to be ratified by the board. The president shall have the power to remove members from any committee. Then the next letter B. Standing committees shall be comprised of at least 1 director and may include any stakeholders. Ad hoc committees shall be comprised of less than quorum of the directors and may include any interested stakeholders. Right. So that's what I read, and I would like to use 5, Marlene, I really would, but the first sentence above says shall appoint 3 committee members for each committee. It's still a committee.
It's separate there. Why would we add the ad hoc portion of it then if it's not the
It
same?
just doesn't say.
It says less of a quorum, but our quorum is 6, so it should be anything less than
Quorum,
6.
right, quorum is 8, less than the quorum. But what I'm doing right here, and then in the president's department, in the separate section of the bylaws, it indicates that the president can appoint 3. So I don't want to be out of compliance with that. I don't mind. I would like to have as much participation as possible. Right, it is the ad hoc committees shall be comprised of less than a quorum of directors and may include any interested stakeholders.
Can we take a 2-minute restroom break so we can sit down and read this?
It sounds good. Yeah, restroom break. We'll take a recess. What we'll do is, let me put my 2-minute timer on here where we have a whole hour for the meeting to finish. We have plenty of time. We will just take 2 minutes to review this.
On the court, let's
Oh, did you have a chance to?
They're just trying to work it out. Yeah, we're almost
Yeah, you think so? I just want to give the time zones. Can't look into it. It's not a permit for the room. I don't know, we're gonna have the freeway.
I just drive through.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. That makes sense. Good evening, everyone. The 2-minute recess is over. I hope you guys did get some of the hospitalities. I can't wait to finish on eating early so I could go fix them up myself. We're gonna hit back to the agenda item, which is item number 11.1.
Wait, President, can I just, because I needed, first, I do need to take calls, so I did get the keys
Board
from
member
the previous
vacancy, we have one announcement from our representative from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, Tom Soon. Go ahead.
Yes, I did speak to the previous president. I did get the keys for your locker room and for your public storage thing, so I wanted to just.
I'll accept those, thank you.
Okay.
For the record, Tom Soong is handing me the keys from the previous president, Jen Markovich, who has resigned. These would be the keys for the public storage and for the locker room here at Alley 32NC, and perhaps the lock for the public storage. Thank you, Tom. We will be noted in the minutes that the meeting is called back to order, and that I am now in receipt of the keys, and we will have Michelle, who is, I don't see her. Michelle. I want to just indicate, Michelle, that we have the keys for the public storage and the locker room, for inventory purposes, whatever. Okay, yeah. So we're continuing now with item number 11.1, which is the creation of the Ad Hoc Elections Board Engagement Committee. Tom Soon did validate a certain issue and will be following the compliance of the bylaws. Section 2 indicates ad hoc committees. The board may approve the ad hoc committee, which we just did, which shall deal with temporary issues. Ad hoc committees shall be comprised of 3 or less directors and may include any interested stakeholders. What we'll do is we'll establish this committee to be of 5. In the following sentence, or letter B, it indicates that ad hoc committees shall be comprised of less than a quorum of the directors and may include any stakeholders that are interested. So I'm going to mark down here the notes that the ad hoc grievance committee will be of 5 members. So far, we have 2 interested directors, which is Miguel Vargas and Sani Abdul-Jabbar, and Marcia Guzman. Are you interested for a nomination to fill the Ad Hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee? Yes, okay, Marcia. That will be the most amount of directors that could be established under Article 7, Section 2. Do we have any stakeholders that are interested in fulfilling the position of the Ad Hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee? We'll now move to the public. Are there stakeholders wishing to participate in the Ad Hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee? Seeing none at this time, what I'm going to do is reduce the size of the committee to 3 and nominate all the 3, or actually those who have accepted the nominations are already here on my list, those 3 board members as the full committee. Although 3 would be a quorum of 5, seeing that there's no stakeholders interested, there's no sense in appointing stakeholders to a vacancy if it's not filled. So the only creation will be, is still in compliance with the creation of it, and we do have less than quorum of the directors. And we do have a question from Marcia Guzman.
My question to you, Anthony, is when we bring this up again at the next board meeting, there might be, at that time, stakeholders who would be interested. I just don't want them to be left out just because they weren't here. This is still the holidays, a lot of people are traveling and have other commitments. So I would request that we close the committee and stakeholders participation at this time.
Okay, I'm thinking about that, and what, I understand what you're saying, is keep the existing committee of 5 filled with 3 positions, 2 open positions, which will still be two stakeholders. The next opportunity to fill these positions would be at the February's meeting. I don't have the date, but it would be the first Wednesday, obviously, in the month of February, which I think will, it's a little, how would you say, not dated, but it's too far in the process to ask them to be appointed next month. I sort of feel that the committee can either meet, have a 1 or 2 meetings, and maybe even host the actual event by early February. So if we have to wait till February to appoint 2 more, then I sort of feel that the existing 3 will defer doing any work until the other 2 are established, which is now February 4th. And what that's going to do is give a real limited time constraint to the approaching election in the following month. Sure.
Does the appointment have to occur, since you actually have the authority to appoint on the committee, does it have to occur at the board meeting? Could you send out an email and ask folks if they're interested?
Thank you for that. Yes, all appointments will be assigned at a general board meeting. The very best we could do is at a special meeting, but it will need all board members to be present. Why? Because the bylaws indicate it has to be ratified. So I am not allowed or privileged to appoint committee members at the park, over the phone, through email, or at dinner. I understand what you're saying, but I just can't do that.
That's fine, yeah, I understand.
Okay. Great, I'm glad everyone understands. So what we'll do is we'll comprise the committee of 3 ad hoc committee members. We've already established the name of the committee, which is the Ad hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee. And before we close the nominations, are there any further who wish to participate with this committee? Only seeing 3 directors interested. The first person named will be the chair of the committee. And just to initiate and to allow for learning opportunities and experience, I'm going to nominate Sani Abdul-Jabbar as the chair of this committee. First name is the chair. Miguel Vargas will be also assigned to that committee, and Marcia Guzman will also be assigned to that committee, which is the Ad hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee. And then you guys will be established and ratified. We'll take a board vote just to ratify that position or the president's
You're gonna do an
appointment.
individual for each one, because I got 3 board forms here. You can't vote as a whole, because we don't agree with what you're saying on all, we're ratifying it.
I think we just need 1 and maybe just put like their names.
Usually just
Sani,
each one.
Miguel, Marcia. For committee member?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I
they,
think it might be a little complicated, but we'll accept it. But that means each director only votes 1 time or all 3 times?
all 3 times.
Okay, then give me the 3 sheets.
So
I'll take them.
Miguel not for chair, right, because he nominated for chair, so not the chair for Miguel, right?
Right, he nominated himself to be as a committee member. Chair?
Yeah.
Okay, but those are just nominations and they can't be seconded. It's just a nomination. And what happens is, right.
Desire to be chair, so.
Does Sonny want to take on chair? Can we say yes?
No, I would actually vote for.
You would prefer Miguel as chair? Okay, then, because what I was doing is I'm following Robert's Rules of Order, and Robert's Rules of Order indicates that the first person named is the chair.
It was
No,
Miguel.
I knew.
Miguel was the first.
No, I'm naming them now, not the first person who raised their hand to be candidate. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take back what I just mentioned, and I'm gonna name Miguel first. I'm gonna indicate him to be his chair, and then we'll just include him as committee members to fulfill the committee.
So there you go, that's the board vote for Miguel. I mean, the ratify for Miguel.
We would like to establish the committee. Chair will be Miguel Vargas. Sani Abdul-Jabbar will be a committee member. Marcia Guzman will be a committee member. And I will restate that the first person named for this committee is Miguel Vargas. This is going to be for the individual of Miguel Vargas, specifically to be the chair of the committee. Just say yes or no when I call your name. Maribel Munoz.
Yes.
Jackie Carrillo. Kathy Leal. Perla Flores.
Yes.
Miguel Vargas.
Yes.
Michelle Corsantes.
Yes.
Karina Cruz.
Yes.
Jose Luna.
Yes.
Tom Williams.
Yes.
Sani Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
Marcia Guzman. Cynthia Sandoval. Rolando Lopez. Myself, Anthony Manzano, yes. That'll give 14 in the affirmative, 0, 0. That will indicate that that Miguel Vargas is our chair for the Ad hoc Elections and Voter Engagement Committee. These will be to ratify the committee members, and I'll do, next one is Marcia Guzman. We have Maribel Munoz, do you accept her? Okay. Jackie Correa? Kathy Leal? Perla Flores? Miguel Vargas?
Yes.
Michelle Corsantes?
Yes.
Karina Cruz?
Yes.
Jose Luna? Tom Williams?
Yes.
Sani Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes.
Marcia Guzman? Cynthia Sandoval? Rolando Lopez?
Yes.
Myself, Anthony Manzano, yes. It will also give an additional 14, 0, 0 in favor of Marcia Guzman. And then the next one is Sani Abdul-Jabbar to establish the committee for Ad hoc Voter Elections Committee, the Voter Engagement Committee. Maribel Munoz?
Yes.
Jackie Correa? Kathy Leal? Perla Flores?
Yes.
Miguel Vargas? Michelle Corsantes?
Yes.
Karina Cruz?
Yes.
Jose Luna?
Yes.
Tom Williams?
Yes.
Sani Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes.
Marcia Guzman? Cynthia Sandoval? Rolando Lopez?
Yes.
And myself, Anthony Manzano, yes. That also gives a 14 in favor of Sani Abdul-Jabbar to be fulfill the committee.
That's it to me.
Yeah. That will close item 11-1. Is the Ad hoc Grievance Committee. That is on here. Yes, go ahead.
Item 11 has conflicting verbatim. In the second statement, it says, motion that LA 32NC creates and establish an ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee.
Correct.
That's specific to only one. So now we're going on to number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Well, correct.
Which is not ad hoc elections and voter engagement.
I understand. They are not part of that, and then maybe I should have numbered it a little bit differently.
Yes.
What it is those committees have vacancies. And as the president, I'm allowed to appoint committee members. And what I'm trying to do is to fill the rest of the committees that are vacant. We are not creating them because they've already been established. Maybe it doesn't have the proper wording. And we don't need a motion for these committees since they're already established and in our bylaws. They just have someone missing on that committee, and I'm basically trying to make sure all our committees are full and functioning. Does that help out?
But the motion moved forward for item 11 was the first paragraph. However, item 11 is compromised of 2 paragraphs. And if there was a motion only stating the first paragraph, then the second paragraph was just excluded in speech, but not on paper.
Okay, so help me with that again, Orlando. The second paragraph where it says motion that LA 32NC creates, okay, that was from Cynthia and Jackie.
Yes.
That was an actual
Cynthia and Jackie
motion.
moved
Yes,
her blah, 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 up until section.
up to committee.
7.
No, up to committee.
What he said, that the second paragraph has, then moving forward as other board, all the other committees. So
Well, the
we need
first
to
paragraph,
rec-
number 11, that's what we go.
So we need to separate them out into separate ones, since it was moved forward as one chunk from the beginning, it was not separated or parsed into 2 separate chunks. So now we need to separate them out so that you can move forward on the 2, 3, and 4.
Are we still on that item right now?
Yes, we are still on item
So
11.
I'd like to amend.
Then that we strike out that second paragraph on number 11. Keep the per bylaws, because obviously that gives you the right to assign people. And I would like to amend to strike out that sentence, motion that LA 32 creates, establishes an ad hoc election and voter engagement committee, because we already are going to do it on 11I, 11, 11.1, 11.2, 11.3, 11.4. So that sentence really has nothing to do in there. It's confusing everywhere.
But you're amending after the fact that we started business on 11.
Correct.
The amendment should have been at the beginning.
Right, I don't
Not
think,
having a motion within the
yep,
motion.
I don't think we could amend it, actually. And what it is I was reading the bylaws and I somehow felt that rather than creating my own ad hoc out of the clear blue sky, I wanted to put it in writing. And therefore, it is in writing, and the board can actually vote on it, which we did. Perhaps the confusion is coming from, they're all within the same number 11. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think he's confused, he's just saying procedurally we're not allowed to move forward because it's not put in correctly and we've already voted on it. So therefore, at this time, we should probably table these until further notice unless there's some sort of urgent matter that requires us for us to address them at this issue and then we find some sort of thing within our.
But the beginning-
The bylaws, well, I'm still speaking, then the bylaws that would allow you to. I think that was.
The way I see a correction to fix something like that would be put them under president's report. And therefore, the president, like it indicates, the president shall appoint committee members. During the president report, I'll just have to acknowledge next month that we'll be filling the vacancies in each of the committees that are remaining. That could be another opportunity because the only time that we have to ask the board is to ratify it. And what I did this time was to make sure that we have an opportunity to even create a committee, not just saying, Anthony's creating this committee. Why? Because he says he could and the bylaw says he could. So I put it in writing so that the board could review it. If you feel, and which I understand you're objecting to continuing with item 2, 3, 4, and 5, then what I'll do is I'll include them next month on the president's report, and then we'll fill the committee assignments through the president's report as the bylaws established. Is that fair enough? Because there's no urgency in moving with none of the rest. They're just some that are not full. That's basically all that's it. Fair enough? Okay. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to circle, which indicates to me, when I circle my items, it just makes communicating simpler, that these items will be tabled or heard on the next month's agenda and that was not heard this evening. Thank you very much. So, Rolando, is that okay?
Yeah, that works.
Is there any other board members that have discussion on that or questions regarding to 11s, 2, 3, 4, and 5?
I just want to say that Jackie was a great environmental green committee chairperson and
Oh, yeah, that'll be, we'll probably speak about that next month. I just received 2 public comment cards. William Harrison, budget advocate, okay. We'll get to that, and 11-4, no, that's what I'm checking, just checking with the board members. Is there any other questions or concerns about 11, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
I just don't think that we should table this to the next month, because we do need to move forward grievance number 58, which is submitted by stakeholder Scott Johnson. And the chair, Pacheco, needs clarification, panel versus committee, and that additional stakeholder, so he can move forward to contact that stakeholder, Scott Johnson, to move forward with that grievance, because it is sitting there. And if you all know Brown Neck, after many days, it does not look pretty good. And also, ad hoc homeless committee, I know that the chair wanted to move forward with more committee members, and we do need a chair for environmental green, because they are doing a lot of good things, and we would hate to see Jackie go.
Thank you for that. We're still on item number 11. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Is there a way that we can withdraw that motion that we just voted on and take that and table that till the end of our meeting? Add it?
No, we can't. The only way, since we took a position on it, right, the only way we could, we can't withdraw it because the board took a vote and we submitted our tabulation. The only other option is for a board reconsideration.
But submitted the tabulation to who? It hasn't left the table.
To me, that item, that's why item 11.1 is crossed out. What we did is we created the motion, you created it, Jackie seconded, and it was to create and establish an ad hoc elections and voter engagement committee. That's what the board did. I'm thinking the only option that I could see what we can do is to help clarify Rolando, maybe some of the board members, is indicate that 11, and it's not on there, but it's been on the agenda, it's been posted, everyone's have a copy, is indicate that 11A will be what Cynthia did. We've completed business, we've established a committee, we voted on it, we've almost filled it, and 11A will be the motion. And then what we'll do is put it in 11B, although it's not printed on the agenda, it'll just look like a B, and item B will allow for the fulfillment of filling the committees. And each of the committees is in writing. So I'm not changing anything. Basically, I'm just trying to break item 11 into 2 components, which it really is. One is the motion, which is in writing. and the other is filling all of the seats, which is also in writing.
But doesn't number 11 per bylaws, you just appoint, it's not even a motion, you just appoint, so then that gives you the president to appoint, and yeah, that motion that LA 33 established, the ad hoc election got done, but you as a president are still covered by Article 567, Section 2, to appoint the ad hoc grievance committee, homeless, beautification, and environmental green. That's the way I understand it.
That's the way I prepared the agenda.
That's how we convert it.
Sure, go
So
ahead,
that'd
yeah.
be two motions here. One. So, did I move forward to move the motion? They said,
I move forward with a motion to blank her, and then the second paragraph also states motion, that's a double motion.
So can I just, obviously it could have been worded a little bit more clearly, but we all kind of get the spirit of what was being said here, right? It's item 11. The first item is item 11, which is to create an ad hoc committee. And then after that, the president will appoint to the various positions. So for the sake of just getting business done, can we agree that that's what was intended with this item and continue on with the meeting? Because what we're trying to do is create this committee and then get appointments done.
We don't have a motion yet, one moment.
You need a motion?
To take public comment.
I make a motion to take public comment.
I second that.
Okay.
Good evening.
Is that related to item 11? Hold on. You said you want to make a
I would
motion?
like to make a motion to hear public comment related to item 11.
Okay,
And I
let's see
second
there.
it.
And
We have to have a board vote, okay, one moment, and second by Michelle. Okay, right. Because I won't take public comment, because we don't have a motion on none of these items yet. The motion has been heard, we closed it, so right now there's no motion before the board, so right now no public speaks. But for the public to speak, Marcia is making a motion that they want to be heard without a motion. There's no motion on the floor.
Okay, fine.
Right. So we're just going to take a position on whether the public comment should be heard on an item that is not before the board. There's no items before the board at this time. I'll take your hands. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's get me right there down here. 12. All those opposed? And those wishing to abstain, raise your hand. 1201. That is going to give the opportunity for the public or the stakeholders to speak on this item. There is no motion before the board. We'll give you 3 minutes, Yolanda, since you're standing there. I don't have a public comment card from you, but we'll give you 3 minutes and let us know what's on your mind.
All right. Good evening, and thank you for allowing me to make a public comment. I just wanted the board to continue with this item. Like, obviously, there's clarity in the agenda that needs for next time in the future, but I think we all understand the items and what was expected today to create committees and fill committees that are not filled. We had stakeholder who already left, who was here interested in joining the committee, and I think as a board, I would ask you, to run the meetings as smoothly as possible. Fill these committees, it's on the agenda, there's no reason why to wait any more longer. Earlier on, item 8, clearly there you did 2 items. In item 8, you did the treasury report and you did a motion. There was no complications there. It seems to me item 11 is very similar to that. Item 11 is even numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where item 8 was not. So obviously, the format of the agenda could be improved, but I think we all know the purpose of this agenda, and it was to fill committees, and I would ask the board to go ahead and move forward and fill those committees before we discourage more stakeholders.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Very good point. Thank you so much, Yolanda. Let me turn this off. Hold on. My bell's gonna ring right now. Okay, do we have any other public comment for this item? Okay, we did hear from the public. Basically, what I'm gonna do then is dissect the motion as it's written, or the item. Much like the stakeholder just mentioned, we didn't have no problem when it was written twice. Item number 8 did have 2 motions within it. One was to approve the monthly expenditure report, which we did. And then the following item below that was a motion to approve the payments for Apple One. The way I wrote this, just so the board members are aware, is it was true that we did vote to establish a committee. The committee was motioned, seconded, and voted by the board, and then the remaining committees were just to fill those committees. They were not connected to the motion, but the only reason why it numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is that I cannot appoint committee members if there was no committee established. So in reality, 11 is two components. One is the motion to verify that a committee can be appointed or a committee can be created. And then all of those committees, just like the stakeholder mentioned, which is 1 through 5, were to fill all the positions available in each of their various committees. Is there any confusion or misunderstanding among board members? Rolando, is that okay with you? You understand? Did you understand how I tried to do it? Maybe it's written wrong, maybe there is a little confusion on the process. But what we'll do then is now, so, well, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna break them into an 11A and an 11B, because we can't change the item 12 on the agenda. Because 12, 13 is, so, right, so the motion that Cynthia created will be 11A. I'm doing it, all you gotta do is put a little A in front of it, and then B, right below it,
So
is,
7A is gonna be motion that creates and establishes an ad hoc election committee, government engagement committee, and the board nominee, appoints board members. That's gonna be A.
And then B would be
right.
grievance.
B is B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. Meaning B1 will be what we just did by nominating Miguel Vargas, Sani Abdul-Jabbar, and Marcia Guzman.
Will we need a motion to move forward with 11B?
No, because those are all appointments by the president, as the bylaws indicate. That's why there is no motion. Okay, so now we've already filled item 11B1, as the president shall appoint committee members. I'll continue the same thing with 11B2, ad hoc grievance committee. That grievance committee has 2 people on it. Let me see, I just like this, ad hoc grievance. There indicates that there's 3 people on that committee. It's Hugo Pacheco as chair, Aaron Ostrom as a stakeholder, and Art Garcia as a stakeholder. The reason why this is on the agenda again is the bylaws indicate specifically that the ad hoc grievance committee must be comprised of 4 members. It specifically indicates that because it is a grievance committee, and to be compliant with the bylaws, we have to fulfill it with a total of 4 members, 2 stakeholders, 2 directors. At this moment, we have the 2 stakeholders willing to participate on the committee. We're just shy 1 director so that the committee can be fulfilled. It'll be the ad hoc grievance committee. Do we have nominations from the board for a director to fill this ad hoc grievance committee?
I nominate Rolando.
Okay. Rolando, do you accept?
I do not accept.
Maribel, okay. I'm just taking note to Rolando. No, will be fine. Okay. Are there any other nominations? He already is. He's the chair. My understanding is there's only 1 outstanding grievance at this time. Is that correct, Michelle?
Number 58, yeah.
Okay.
By Scott Johnson.
I would like to nominate Tom Williams to be on the ad hoc grievance committee.
I accept.
Okay, so let me mark down Tom. And we put a for accept. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, the president will appoint Tom Williams to be the final committee member, and we'd like to have a ratification from the board. So can we have one of those voter forms? And it'll be to indicate that Tom Williams will complete the ad hoc grievance committee. And while we do that, well, it's not closed yet, we have to. No. Yeah, you just, what happened is you just complete the committee, so now that they can actually, the stakeholders, actually serve, and the public can say that they've complied with their bylaws and now they can get to work. So all those in favor, I'll take a hand vote for having Tom Williams complete the ad hoc grievance committee. Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12. Those opposed, raise your hand. And those abstaining, raise your hand. 1202, Tom will complete the ad hoc grievance committee. 1202. The next committee is number 3, Ad hoc Homeless Committee. I'm on that one with Jose Luna. Jose Luna is the chair, Ad hoc Homeless. And since this is an ad hoc committee, it's comprised of 3 members, we would like to have a stakeholder or a board member fill this ad hoc homeless committee. We'll take.
I'd like to nominate Maribel Munoz.
Maribel, do you accept?
All right.
Okay. Do we have any other nominations for this committee? Are there any other nominations for that committee? Okay, Maribel accepts. We'll have only one candidate. As the president, the bylaws allow me to appoint her as the committee member. Let me mark down right here. Before I do, Maribel is interested. Okay. Maribel. Cynthia. I'm going to take a hand tabulation or a hand board vote to fulfill this seat. All those in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those opposed, raise your hand. And those abstaining, raise your hand. Maybe better, did you vote in favor or opposed? Okay, so 13. Okay, 1301. My name is Hugo. Last name is Hugo. 1301. Let me mark down here, just go to you. You can sign it again, Hugo. Let me see my domain. The next committee is the Beautification Committee. That committee is full at this moment. It has 3 committee members. The reason why it's on the agenda is because I'll be removing one of those committee members. It indicates that the chair is Miguel Vargas, and we have Troy Carvajal and Marlene Fonseca as stakeholders on that committee. I did pass out earlier, and the board has it, which is the Departments of Neighborhood Empowerment's Neighborhood Council advice regarding the serial meetings and no secret meetings. So I will be removing one of those stakeholders to protect and prevent the board from conducting secret or serial meetings. The person or the stakeholder that I'll be removing is Marlene Fonseca. And since I'm removing her, it is compliant with the bylaws. That's why it's on the agenda, so I could reappoint someone to that committee as item number 11B4. No, 11B4. Which is Beautification Committee, so I'm gonna make a notation like this.
Board member requesting to speak.
Yes, go ahead, Miguel.
Anthony, you're absolutely within your right as president to do that, but I think, we have community members who want to be involved, and I don't really, I believe that when they go, if these 2 stakeholders are hanging out with each other outside of meetings, I'm sure they're not talking about beautification things. I'm pretty sure. I don't think, I don't think there's a reason to be concerned about them breaking and violating the Brown Act. They're probably not discussing any of the items, and I don't really think it's necessary for you to do that, and I would ask that you please reconsider your decision to do that, because they are both passionate stakeholders who care about beautifying the neighborhood, and, I don't know if I'm alone, I think maybe others feel the same way.
Yeah, we'll take board members' discussion, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Cynthia Sandoval, and I was at the executive board meeting as your corresponding secretary. I also voiced the same exact, I was not very happy with that whole discussion that we had. It was about a 20-minute lengthy conversation, and I voiced the same concern. I don't believe that the 2 stakeholders that are involved already in this community and have given us many hours of their time are out there talking about these things. I know I've been with them in several occasions, and we are not talking about neighborhood council business. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm being lenient, and I'm going to allow the board members to discuss. Go ahead. Kathy.
Yes, I agree. I always see Marlene and Troy at the
cleanups, and even if it's not a cleanup, they're cleaning up their area, so I don't think you should remove them. That's a mistake.
Okay, thank you. Other board members wish to weigh in a little bit? Maribel, go ahead.
With all due respect, I think you are pointing on maybe not exactly a facts that they were discussing about beautification. I see Marlene very professional anywhere that I go. I see Marlene as a volunteering every time that we have an event in the community. And I just don't see that that's her character talking about in secrets, like you mentioned.
Thank you. Anything else from the directors? Jackie, go ahead.
Like Cynthia, I too was at the executive meeting, and I was kind of shocked and all because to me it was discrimination, because outside of work I'm with Perla and with Cynthia and with Michelle, so it's like we don't discuss these things. There's other things to be discussed besides just our neighborhood council committee stuff, so I think we should reconsider.
My point is that I feel that they're doing good service. I think that there's a presumption of guilt, and they being accused of doing something that they probably haven't even done. So unless it's something that does come up, then I think it should be addressed in that manner in that time, then remove the person. But if that's something that is detrimental, and it's not, not being detrimental, I don't think, assuming that action is premature.
Thank you for all your input. Yes, Tom?
Sorry. The appearance of impropriety issues is as great as the reality. So, in point of fact, if you have a sequential meeting, well, might say there's a lot of problems in that. And one of the elements is trust versus truth. There's no evidence that nothing was discussed that might be pertinent to a financial matter and or decision by the board. Thereby, the appearance of secrecy is as valuable as the fact of secret discussions.
Correct, thank you. Anything else from the board? Michelle?
You know what, that's a good point, Tom. There's no proof. That's true.
There's no proof.
It's just an assumption that's making us assume that they aren't.
It's appearance.
But there's no proof. There's no proof.
You have to have proof that it did not occur.
There's no proof. There's no proof that they're an item under the same roof. There's no proof. I think you just nailed it for me. There's no proof. They're both a great team. Troy does so much. They're both great. They both do a lot together. And I think they should continue. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there anything else from the board?
Yes, I normally don't talk a lot, and everybody knows that. I don't know if this is on. But she's been a president before, so she knows the rules. So I don't think there's why continue with this. She knows, and we all know she's out there, she's helping, and she's doing a good work.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and weigh in. Go ahead, Miguel.
Anthony, you changed the way we run our meetings by including the stakeholders, because from the get-go, you've said you've always been about getting more people involved and making sure that people, the community, the stakeholders are getting involved and participating. So by doing this, you're going to discourage some of our more active stakeholders, and you're going to eliminate two people who come to every single, you're going to discourage them from coming and being involved, and these are the people who put on a lot of events. These are people who get involved in everything. There's a difference between, there's a Brown Act, right, which is designed to protect the people from secrecy and all these things, right? But we need to look at every case individually, and this is a case of two people who want to participate and be involved, and they're doing a great thing for our community, and they're doing things that you yourself say are a great thing to do, which is to be involved. So please reconsider.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to answer a couple of the questions, just so that the board members know why I'm making this decision, and I don't have to clarify why. The bylaws only indicate that I'm allowed to, and not because I'm doing it out of my own position. I don't have to prove guilt. I don't have to prove that they're having secret meetings. My job is to protect the board and follow the letter of the law. The letter of the law indicates on everybody's page, and I'll read it for you guys. The question is, are there limits on the ability of the board or committee members to communicate with one another outside of neighborhood council meetings? The answer is yes. Are there limits? Yes. It says the Brown Act prohibits neighborhood council board members and committee members from engaging in any form of communication among one another outside of the public meeting that leads to a majority developing the concurrence on an action to be taken. The reason why I express this is because Dr. Tom Williams is absolutely correct. I don't need proof. I don't need to go to court. I don't need to ask the city attorney. I don't need to have guilt. I don't need to have evidence. All I have to do is show that it is not possible for them to conduct this type of meeting. And if they're willing, and I'll take your example, if they're willing so much to be active, participate, be involved, give great ideas, then why can't they do it on separate committees? Why is it mandatory? Why is it mandatory that they're on the same committee? So what happens is the Brown Act, no, it's not. What I'm doing is I'm asking them to be involved, but there's nowhere that mandates that they must be on the same committee. If any director can provide that, please, and then I will honor your position. What is in writing indicates that they cannot, and I'll read it again as I read earlier, the purpose of this Brown Act is to avoid secrecy in government. Of course, there's plenty of quotes here. If you go from page 1 to page 2, it advocates or indicates what is the constructions of a serial meeting. It indicates that they cannot phone call each other, they cannot email each other, they cannot talk to each other while they're at the park, at dinner, or any other location they are. If that is happening amongst other board members here, and I've heard Jackie mention it twice already, then yes, I will be removing you and someone else from the committee because I cannot allow me to have the
Excuse me,
board.
I'm saying that, you're saying that because the people that are on my committee, you're saying that I can't see them outside of the board and say hi.
Yes, you can say hi, but okay, but check this out. That's what you're not reading the whole thing. It says the Brown Act prohibits neighborhood council board members and committee members from engaging in any form of communication among one another outside of a public meeting that leads to a majority developing a concurrence on an action to be taken. So if you say hi, it's okay. One moment, we're not listening to the stakeholders at this time. So what happens is you can say hi, you could talk about the Dodger game, you could talk about the Rose Parade, you could talk about your family. But if anyone on the committee is talking about ideas that the committee will ultimately recommend and bring it to the board, I'm the one who's going to get in trouble. And here's my proof. Do we have to wait for a grievance to prove I'm wrong? Yes. That would be the evidence that says moving forward. No, we don't have to wait because once we establish a grievance, now we're in violation. My job, like I said, is to protect the board. So to prevent a grievance is my job. Not wait for it to happen and then say, oh my goodness, we made a mistake.
Anthony, I make a motion that we hear the public,
Thank you.
some public comment.
Okay.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Okay. Then, right.
I think we have to go through.
I'll second.
Wait.
We'll let it go through the process.
This one over there, this one right there. And I'm going to be leaning because we did hear public comment on this, and that's why it was agendized at the executive committee meeting, meaning the opportunity for the stakeholders to address the board on this item has been heard. I'm going to allow the board to hear this item again. So we have a motion by Marcia to accept public comment on this item 11B4. And second by?
Second by me.
Cynthia. Thank you very much. Okay, and we'll now open up to the stakeholders. We'll afford them 3 minutes. Reset, start. Go ahead. Jorge.
Jorge Garcia, I'm a stakeholder, longtime person coming to these meetings, and this is one of the dumbest things I ever heard. Literally, the dumbest thing I ever heard.
I was just informed that, can you please?
Jorge Garcia.
Jorge, thank you.
And like I said, I've been here going to these for a long time. And what he's saying is that if there's even an iota of improprieties, that these people cannot be on committees. Well, think about what he does as president. Calls you guys, texts you guys. That's, according to him, to his words, inappropriate. So Lou Pacheco and you can't talk at all, because Lou was your buddy, real tight buddy with you. So according to what you're saying, you can't even text him, can't even say hi to him outside of this realm, and that makes no sense. What he's going on here is a personal vendetta against either Troy or Marlene, or both of them. That he's just being hateful, and it's wrong. If you have something against them, oh well. That's your personal business. You do it in your position as president. This is the community's business, not your wrong business on film. We're using this to put this online on Miguel because this is wrong. To do it, it's illegal. Thank you.
Do we have any other stakeholders?
Say my name, William Rodriguez Morrison. Okay, if you remember correctly, I was part of the Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council for many years ago, before I became a budget advocate. Boyle Heights Neighborhood Council, which I will not mention any names, it was a family that was part of all these committees. And that's why they went into exhausted efforts. Okay, so I know that Al Sereno, this LA 32, has been a very good board. I will want to see that happen to this board. And there was a conflict, and I really hate to mention those names. It was the Dalaposa family and Mago. That's why they got into exhausted efforts. Due to the fact that they were part of committees in which the bylaws state from the neighborhood empowerment, they will actually take rulings against the board. And I don't want to see this board go into exhausted efforts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Morrison. Anything else from the stakeholders?
Marlene Fonseca.
You have 3 minutes. Go ahead, Marlene.
Just to clarify, this board has not always been functional. When I took over this board, it was an exhaustive efforts. Yes. And it was an exhaustive efforts under part of the leadership of the current president. Yes. It was me who took the board out of exhaustive efforts. Of course, I'll never say it was just me. I had the help of many of my board members, most specifically my treasurer at the time, who's now the current treasurer. But that's not really what I wanted to say. First of all, on the agenda, you should have had that you were removing a member from the committee. You should have had the name of the member that you were removing from the committee so that the community could come and speak about it. You should have informed me via email prior that you were removing me from the committee. I did not know I was going to be removed from the committee. I, for some reason, was under the assumption it would be Troy, but that's okay. I am stating my opposition to your position. You're making presumptions of me and my integrity. I've never not fulfilled any of my obligations to LA 32 Neighborhood Council. I've been the president. I've chaired multiple committees as president, mostly because I didn't have people stepping up and chairing. As the president, I was the de facto recording secretary in the absence of one. De facto, which is what you should be doing, not paying hundreds of dollars for somebody to do it. I did it as president. I continue to remain active despite the negative experiences that I had here. And that's only for one reason, because I enjoy what I do and I love this community. After all this, you know, what I get is that you're calling to question my integrity, my professionalism, and I do want to state for the record that this is a personal decision on your behalf. It's not based on merit, and it's not based on community input or consensus. I consider this to be arbitrary and capricious. I won't go as far as discriminatory, but if you don't act unilaterally, if you don't implement this across the board to every single one of your committees, then I will consider it discriminatory. You have a hard time filling these committees now, but yet now you're going to have to go through every committee and remove members, because I know for a fact your budget committee has 2 people who hang out outside of business, and budget is a big thing. So if that's your concern, then you need to address that. You also have 2 very good friends on another committee. You're going to have to remove them, at least one. And what you're going to do is just upset people and disengage the public. That's what you're doing. You started this meeting off by saying you want to increase stakeholder participation, but what you're doing is you're decreasing it. Since you're operating and acting on a presumption, an assumption, something that you're really making up seriously in your head, then the conclusion that I'm going to draw is that you're saying that we've been operating illegally. Therefore, any motion and project that we have on the table is considered by us null and void, I guess, at this point. The project and the time and effort that we've put into the current project will remain with us, and we'll be acquiring separate funding from it. And instead of increasing your participation for LA 32, I believe now you've probably lost 2 very active members of your board.
Thank you very much, Marlene. One statement that I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting is, and I have it written down here, you don't know you're breaking the rule or the law unless you know what the rule or the law is. Many of you board members do have the information before you. Why you're still questioning me, I don't know. Maybe question the city attorney. It's not Anthony's law. It's a state law called the Brown Act. I don't have to afford the board members the opportunity to give input, nor do I have to give public comment, because the bylaws only indicate that the president can remove committee members. The reason why I'm doing this is back in June, when the previous president appointed these committee members, she did it in violation of the law. And if you guys remember, I mentioned it at the June meeting. Please, Jen, do not put Troy and Marlene on the same committee because it allows for a serial meeting, and what it could do is allow for grievances. Now, some people mentioned that Marlene is the previous president, so she must know the laws. Well, I'll mention this. She violated the Brown Act for an entire year because of the posting requirement. Somehow, the board voted... one moment, listen. Somehow the board voted... Listen. Listen first.
That I violated the Brown Act?
Listen, do you know why?
You know what? You're nuts.
Listen.
Nuts.
The board voted to make a single posting, which is at the El Sereno Library. And there's a commitment to that. The Brown Act requires that you post at the place of the meeting location. So because there was no posting right outside on that door, just like you can see as you leave this evening, for an entire year, LA 32 Neighborhood and Council was in violation of the Brown Act. Did I bring it up? No. But I'm advising you guys, wherever you're holding your meeting, you have to post there also. So the board, right outside. Go take a look.
Was it up last month?
Go take a look.
Was it up last month?
I wasn't the president last month.
You were the president last
I was not the president last month. Go check the records. So what's going to happen, what happened is, and it might be difficult. Some people don't understand. I'm glad Mr. Morrison understands, and I'm glad Tom Williams understands, because those are the laws. I am not allowed to violate the law because the board doesn't understand them. Go read your documents. There's 3 pages. I'm sure you have them before you. It describes why I'm doing this or what I'm preventing on here. Tom understands very simple because we've been doing this for over a decade. So there's no input that you could weigh in from the board or the public to say, violate the law. I don't...
You're saying don't blame the city, don't blame me, blame the city attorney, but you're the one interpreting this law and selectively.
All I'm doing, no, I'm applying it, correct. It's not selectively, and it's not discrimination. It is. If I find out that any 2 people on a committee are speaking on either at dinner or at the park or at an event, relative to something, and this is the language, a communication among one another outside of a public meeting that leads to a majority developing a concurrence on an action item. You could talk about anything you want as long as LA 32 does not vote on it. Go ahead, talk about the Rose Parade, talk about the Lakers, talk about the Dodgers, but you could not talk about the cleanup that's happening next month.
If you're on the same committee.
So it's very simple.
But if I'm talking to Joe Luna and we're talking about that exact thing and we're not on the same committee, we're allowed to speak.
Exactly.
But you have to clarify that. It's the people that are
On the same committee. That's the difficult I have. It's not nothing against Troy or Marlene. It's not being selective. It's because they are both on the same committee.
Why are you starting with our committee?
I mean, you prove that they did that. How can you prove it?
Which other committee? You show me.
Your budget and finance?
If there's any other committees that have the same predicament on me, and like what I'm saying, it's not unilateral. I am going to be consistent. That's what a good president does. One moment. Before we do, I need a motion to extend the time because I just looked up there and it's 9:02.
Okay, I want a motion to extend
No,
the time.
8:59. Okay.
So you know that we
have to hold rented only till
I
9:30.
don't think we can take this one.
After 9:30, we have to pay additional fees that we have to go on.
2, Cynthia.
All right, well,
Who's gonna second my motion for
I second your motion.
Thank you.
Okay. Jose Luna? Jose Luna.
Jose.
Okay, we have a motion to extend the meeting by, and I didn't hear a time frame. How much?
We don't have to give a time frame, as
No, we
long
don't
as it's
have to
before
give a
9:30.
No, I need to know. I
Yeah,
need to know.
because the facility
But
closes
the-
at 9:30.
What it is,
Okay, 9:30.
so
you do have to give a time frame because we're gonna vote on it.
15 minutes.
15
That
minutes,
is
that's what I
my
need to know.
motion.
Okay.
I second that motion.
That's what I need to know. Because,
Staff member till 9:30 after that.
right. So we're gonna take a hand vote. All those in favor of extending the meeting by 15 minutes, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I'll go home.
8, 9. I'm gonna put 9 right here.
We all do, we want to do this.
9 in favor. Those opposed, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 9, 3. And those abstaining, raise your hand. 2. Okay. 932 is 14. 9 is in favor, which just passed. We will now extend the meeting for 15 minutes, and now I'll move to Troy. Go ahead, Troy. Let me give you 3 of those 15 right now.
All right, thank you everybody for your kind words, first of all, and Happy New Year to all your board members, and Anthony, this is you included. Happy New Year. First of all, you can all hear me, I don't need to use this, correct? Good.
It's being recorded, that's the benefit.
Okay, my name is Troy Carbajal. Mr. Chair, the simple fact that you are basing your decision on assumption and probability deeply, deeply concerns me. It's this type of retro thinking thought process that got this board into trouble during your leadership, I understand. It's this type of retro thinking that's going to keep stakeholders from coming to these meetings. It is this type of thinking that are going to keep good teams from being proactive. A lot of you know that I am very much involved with event management. I have done this for quite a few years now, and I have successfully put together many events, including here in my community, which I have been residing in most of my adult life. Not only have we put together these committees, I pride myself on the teams, the people I surround myself with. Because if it wasn't for those people and the teams I surround myself with, we would not have the type of events that are brought to communities, including this one of El Sereno. I chose Marlene to be on a committee a few years ago, and that was the first 5K that was brought to El Sereno, which we did it successfully. We did it again a second year. Collectively, we not only brought members of the community together, over 500, but we also were able to raise funds for different entities within the community. And that's entities with an S. We have raised money. We will never do anything other than good things for this community. I can assure you with that. All I'm going to say now is that any motion, because I do believe in teamwork, and I can't reiterate that more. Something that I think you need to look into, Anthony. I'm not really sure you know the meaning of that, because what you're doing now is you're creating animosity. You're separating communities instead of bringing communities together. There's not that many people here in this community that will volunteer and do the amount of hours even that you do, that I do, that all of us will continue to do. I'm appalled. I'm taken aback by all this, Anthony. I don't even know what to say other than I'm going to reiterate what my team member and my committee member mentioned. Any motion that was made by the beautification committee, in your theory and thought process, is illegal. Therefore, as the maker of that motion, which is a Route 66 sign painted permanently on Huntington Drive in El Sereno, will be moved. We will withdraw that motion, and we will be seeking other means of funding it. Also, I will respectfully step down from the beautification committee as of right now, and I will continue to do my work within the community. Unfortunately, it will not be under the umbrella of the LA 32 Neighborhood Council. Thanks to your chair, Mr. Anthony Manzano. And that is all I'd like to say at this point, other than thank you very much. I have been honored to be a part of this board. I have been honored to be a part of a few committees on this board. Unfortunately, I will no longer be able to continue that work under the umbrella of the Neighborhood Council. I can assure you I will be doing it on my own, within my own committees, and I will definitely have Marlene Fonseca by my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Troy. The Brown Act does not allow me to waiver from the law. I did mention earlier that Marlene Fonseca would be removed from the committee, which is the Beautification Committee. And hearing the acknowledgement of Troy, he wishes to resign himself from the committee. And basically what that does is it helps validate my position. Because what it does is it indicates that if they do not work together, then they don't want to work at all.
No, it's principle,
And-
Anthony. It's principle. It's not.
Well, I'm following the law. I'm following the law, and there's no animosity, there's no targeting, and there's no selection of me being against any of the stakeholders, any of the board members. I just want the board to be sure that we, myself, and as your leaders, we will not incur grievances. That's my job. We will not have not even 3 grievances in my term. And how are we going to do that? By making sure we follow the spirit of the law, the letter of the law, and the bylaws. So now we have, I'm indicating on my notes.
You want to follow the letter of the law and the bylaws and the Brown Act, start with the agenda is in violation. So you
The agenda is not in violation. There's no violation. It was posted.
Formatted correctly.
It was posted.
It's not formatted correctly, there's various, there's a lot of information that's omitted, and so you yourself are in violation of the Brown Act.
You probably don't know you probably don't know the Brown Act then. As long as it was posted and we gave all the public the opportunity to speak on the items and they were aware beyond 72 hours in advance, we're in compliance. I was following a template that was submitted to me.
It wasn't posted, and you still conducted that meeting.
Which committee?
Public safety, the first one of the year.
Yeah, they were all posted. Oh, but that was not my fault. That was sent to the website guy, and the website guy didn't post it. Okay, but Kathy, listen real quick. Just so you know, the digital postings are not part of the Brown Act. So I was not in violation then, okay? Are you finished, Miguel? I just had an interruption. And that's part of the reason why I'm going to ask committee members to stand. Remember at the beginning of the meeting, I asked you guys to stand? Miguel was speaking, and Kathy interrupted. I'm going to be very, very professional. I'm not a D student. This is an A student. And what we're going to do is we're going to perform our neighborhood council in an A capacity, meaning we are not going to earn grievances. That is my job as the president. People say, well, you're not doing anything.
Can we please continue with the meeting and stop
Well,
with?
that's fine. What I'm
whatever
doing is I'm
you're-
indicating that now we have 2 vacancies, which is fine. And what it does is it helps validate my position. So now Troy Carbajal and Marlene are not on the beautification committee. We are on item 11B4, which will indicate beautification committee. So now I have an opportunity to fill that seat with two seats. Are there any board members that wish to fill the vacancies on the beautification committee? Directors first.
I'd like to step down as chair of the beautification committee.
Okay, I have you here. Thank you. Is there any other announcement or resignations or committee appointments? Chairs, are you wishing to nominate yourself for the beautification committee?
I wanted to give you a tally of who's in what committees, so you know which of your directors are being active or not. I made copies for you, so you can give to everyone else. I would love to chair and be in all the committees. As you can see, I think I'm chairing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's
4.
I can't, I'm sorry. But there's other people here who are not in a committee or chairing, so I just wanted to give you that tally up. And I just finished updating it right now with the ad hoc voter engagement and the ones we added. So I don't know, it's up here. I already had it projecting up here, but I know I made copies for the president to give to everyone else so they
I
can
have a
have that. You have them to give to them so they can see?
Yes, yes, everyone should have that chart. There's a full pack around here.
I just,
Kathy? Right, so as directors, we have Hugo Pacheco on 2, Marcia Guzman on 1, Business and Economic, and, okay,
We even got the stakeholders in the bottom right here, look.
right, and so Marcia, you want which other one as well?
Oh, yeah, it's right there. Yes, yeah, she's in the, oh, she's 3 now.
We have Tom Williams on no committees.
you just,
Tom,
You
okay,
just said on the-
let me add you over here. Tom,
Just for the record, who's the chair for business? Is it Rolando or Marcia?
Rolando's chair. Rolando.
Okay, so I can make sure I got it.
So what we actually need, and like I'm saying, is we need all board members to step up, be active, and participate. Some stakeholders might not understand what we're doing. I could recognize that from the beginning, and I know that this board was not having the most profound leadership at the beginning of the term in June.
Can I say something, President? I'd actually like to see you chair also a committee too and be out there working with us.
I'm chairing 2 committees already.
Which one?
The executive committee and here the general board, which is not a committee, but this is the general board, but I'm chairing the executive committee and I'm also on the ad hoc homeless committee.
Yeah, I would like to see you get out there and work with us because we're doing a lot of work.
I understand that, and I know, I hear the request, but at the same time, if I appoint myself as a chair of a committee, because, well, you're not doing so much. It's not the easiest thing to be the president of the board, and I understand that maybe you say, well, you've done it before. It is easier. Yes, it's much easier. But if I start appointing myself to committees, what will happen is that propriety of, how would you say, right, what I just prevented. Meaning, I would probably honor my committee first and do everything I can for beautification committee or any other committee and push that through because I'm the president and I'm the chair of that committee and would allow me myself to my own leniency, which I won't. So as I mentioned, I will not chair.
Well, you know the
another-
laws. You would know the laws and you know the rules, so I'm sure that you wouldn't do that.
Correct. But I don't want that presumption. And that's what I like what Tom says. I don't want people to think that I'm doing that, even though I wouldn't. Or I don't want the appearance of me pushing my own agendas through my own committees, through the whole board. So far at this moment, we have the beautification committee, which is on the agenda, 11B4, which is completely vacant as of this time. Do we have any people wishing to fill the beautification committee?
That's why I did the list, man. Yeah, we'll move up to 21.
Correct. The beautification committee is on the agenda item at this time. Okay, that will be held over till next month's meeting. We now have B5, which is the Environmental Green Committee. That one is assigned and full at this time, but I believe Jackie resigned as chair, although she remains the committee member for the Environmental Green Committee. We have Jackie Carrillo, Cynthia Sandoval, and Aaron Ostrom. With Cynthia Sandoval, who is also a board member, she's eligible to be chair. Would you be willing to be chair of the Environmental Green Committee, Cynthia?
I've been the Environmental Green Committee chair twice already. I know what it's entitled. It's a lot of work. Jackie did a wonderful job, Jackie. Why don't you reconsider?
Reconsider, don't take it personal. You're taking
Yeah,
it personal.
don't take it personal, just.
You're doing it for the community, you're not doing it for one person. The moment that you stop because that one person's rubbed it on wrong, then
So we represent the community, but also we represent the president, and that's why I resigned because of being lectured instead of saying, Jackie, repost your agenda and make a special, and instead of giving me a lecture, then I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done, because we need direction, we need teamwork, we need hands-on, instead of just delegating all these laws and rules and stuff, and so that's why I resigned.
So do we have a chair from Cynthia to wish to be chair of the Environmental Green Committee?
I respectfully decline.
Okay, and Jackie, do you wish to remain the chair of the Environmental Green Committee?
If I were to sit here and take personal what you guys do and say, I would resign everything. I'm depriving my community. But I have thick skin.
That's exactly what I seen when they want to resign.
Different personalities, even Anthony, I disagree with him on a lot of things. But I'm not resigning because I'm not gonna let down my community when I do my events out there. Because I don't work with the president, I work with my committees that I have before me to do that event. And I think you should really reconsider, you're doing a good job in that.
And then I just want to, just so people could,
Let me speak. I don't think anybody should be pressuring Jackie at this moment. She's done a lot of work and I think she's done a lot of work and we don't know what else is possibly going on. Like, earlier, I explained that in either way, I think if she's respectfully declined, we need to respectfully accept that and move on to really, I think at this point, Anthony, this meeting has run out of control. I'm just wrap it up and.
okay, hold on. I need to take notes. Okay, Marcia seconded.
I need my sports and rec stuff to get moving.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn and a second by Miguel. Those in favor of adjourning the meeting, please raise your hand.
You need to move one item?
I need my sports and rec stuff to be moved so we can get busy. Yes.
As we do this, let's start cleaning up.
Those?
Jackie's item number A, B, and C forward.
Okay, so first, we had a motion to adjourn.
I
There's a
withdraw
second.
my motion to adjourn and instead I move to move item.
Okay, so hold on. Item 12B will be tabled to next month. Item 12B5 will be tabled to next month, which is the Environmental Green Committee. Now we move to item 12. Item 12 is the Sports and Recreation Committee. Can we hear from the chair, please?
I would like to make a motion. Our Sports and Rec Committee has been eagerly creating 2 events that are coming up, and I need it to be approved today because we need a month in advance to have the funds approved for Ascot Hills Family Recreation Day, $500 to be spent. Do I go on to B?
I move that we approve 12A, $500 for the Family Recreation Day as stated on the agenda. Discussion and possible action for LA 32 Neighborhood Council sponsored Family Recreation Day at Ascot Park on February 25th, 2017, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the purchase of snacks, water, lime, and flyers, not to exceed $500 for the Family Recreation. I second.
We have a motion and a second by Perla. Do we have any stakeholders to wish input? Any stakeholders? Board member comments on this motion? Are there any other board members discussion or debate? For those that are present, we still do have quorum. This is to vote on $500 for Ascot Hills Family Recreation Day that has been presented. It has been public comment. We did take board discussion. Since this is a financial matter, we're going to take a tally by hands. Maribel Munoz? Jackie Carrillo? Kathy Leal? Kathy Leal will be marked absent for this. Perla Flores? Miguel Vargas? Michelle Corsantes? Corina Cruz? Jose Luna?
Yes.
Tom Williams? Sani Abdul-Jabbar? Marcia Guzman? Cynthia Sandoval? Rolando Lopez? Rolando Lopez will be marked absent for this item. Frankie Pacheco is marked absent for this item. Myself is abstention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in favor. 0 opposed. 1 abstention. abstention. Miguel Vargas, are you still here? Can
Yep.
you sign these
I'll sign,
documents?
I'll sign, yep.
Yeah, we have several documents to sign over here. The next item, go ahead, Jackie, with item B, 12B.
Go to Wilson.
I make a motion to move item 12B forward, discussion of possible action that Alligator Neighborhood Council sponsor the first annual Madness basketball tournament at the Middle Lake School, March 26, 2017, from 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. for the purchase of snacks, water, lights, flyers, medals, flagging programs not to exceed 500 March Madness away.
Public comment?
Okay. Make an amendment to it, make a note, you strike the word, right, strike the word purchase of medals and trophies. What happens is it may be assumed that we are buying trophies for first place, second place, third place. We're, right, exactly. We are allowed to buy medals, so do you want an actual medal or a
Let's
trophy?
strike the word trophies then.
So we want-
Yeah, that would be,
the word
yeah,
medal?
everyone gets one.
So we'll strike the word trophies, that will be an amendment.
Okay.
And Jackie, you say no, all participants will get a medal, correct? Excellent. For the amendment, which is striking the word trophy, I need a board vote. Strike the word trophies, all in favor, we don't need to tally.
All in favor, strike out the word trophies.
All
in favor. Mr. Luna.
Good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Okay, 10. Okay, right, so do you have another?
Yes, I do.
Okay, 10. All opposed to the extent for the March Madness and $500? No, for the amendment, just for the amendment.
There's no
And
opposed,
abstention.
there's no opposed, no opposed, no abstention. Then yes.
This is the amendment? Okay, so now we can vote on the actual motion. The motion reads that Alligator annual March Madness basketball tournament Middle Lake School.
Well, the tables don't need to be moved.
Between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. The purchase of snacks, water, guns, shoes, flyers, medals, will not exceed $500.
We started this at
All participants are business and board tabulation, Maribel Munoz, are you still here?
I'm still here.
Okay, your position? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Jackie Carrillo? Yes. Kathy Leal? Bella Flores?
Yes.
Miguel Vargas?
Yes.
Michelle Crisantes?
Yes.
Karina Cruz?
Yes.
Jose Luna?
Luna, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Tom Williams? Tom? Tom Williams?
Yes.
Sania Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes.
Marcia Guzman?
Yes.
Cynthia Sandoval?
Yes.
Rolando Lopez? That, the last item on the agenda, item B is closed. The last item is 12C.
Yes, discussion of possible action. I move discussion of possible action that Alligator No more than $80 to use the event.
Okay, so it's Michelle, Marcia, Michelle. Do we have any public comment on this item?
Public comment?
Do we have any board members discussing or debating on this item? Okay, we'll now take a roll call vote. Maribel Munoz? Okay, Jackie Carrillo?
Yes.
Absent. Bella Flores?
Yes.
Miguel Vargas?
And actually for the whole.
Michelle Crisantes? Karina Cruz?
Yes.
Jose Luna?
Yes.
Give your name tags here, please. Go ahead.
Tom Williams? Tom
Okay.
Williams?
Yes.
That one, Sani Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes.
Marcia Goodman?
Yeah, bring it, put stuff in there.
Cynthia Sandoval? Okay, thank you, and myself, I abstain. Down is 11:01.
Yeah, I was start filling out.
Right, you don't know where that is, like, you're talking about like that.
Yes.
wait, do I read the thing?
All in favor of adjourning our meeting?
Aye.